Good evening and welcome to Stauffer Field in Edgerton, Ohio, as we get set to bring you high school football for week number 3, an all-Williams County collision tonight from Stauffer Field. Tonight, it is the 1-1 Edgerton Bulldogs set to face off with 0-2 Montpelier. Welcome in to our pregame show brought to you by Allied Molded Products. Think outside the box with Allied Molded Products. Always glad to have my good friend Mike Bumb next to me here this evening. Welcome in, Mike Bumb.
Great to see you, Ange.
We're here on a beautiful night. What a night here for high school football, and what a difference back-to-back Fridays it makes. Last week we were sweltering in 100-degree feels-like temperature heat. Tonight we're going to have a kickoff with temperatures in the upper 60s. Sun is descending here on Northwest Ohio. Going to be a spectacular night, and we are in a brand new facility made possible by the great folks at the Edgerton Area Foundation. So I want to give them all the props and credit in the world, and of course the school for having the vision and the wherewithal to recognize the need in this beautiful new facility here at Stauffer Field in Edgerton.
I tell you what, it is mammoth up here in the Edgerton press box, something that we have obviously been very difficult to work with here in the past several years. It was very tight, and as you said, they stepped up, the community did, and have got some good successful football going on this season, so this is the place to be here at Edgerton.
All right, you saw Edgerton on opening night, Mike. A tough loss to arch rival Eden. It was a tale of two halves. They played an incredible first half that night to take a 2-score lead into the locker room, only to be then out slugged 29-6 in the second half. So seeing that with the eyeball test, what were the differences in half one and half two in that opening week loss?
Oh boy, I don't know. I mean, fatigue maybe. Edgerton's roster is not very deep, and Eden's roster you're talking about in week one was much more deeper than Edgerton's. I think that came into play. When you're rushing the passer every single down, because Eden throws the ball every single down, that fatigues your defensive line over time, and many of those kids are two-way players. The cramping issues that you had, like you often will get in that first week, specifically the all-conference, and is, I think, one of the best backs in Northwest Ohio. Joel Walkup was not as effective, especially in the fourth quarter. And, Eden's a darn good football team. They made some adjustments, and Kyler Sapp for Eden is really good. So I think the combination of all of that, Angie, kind of factored into the fact that, Eden took commanding or a controlling lead, I guess. Commanding is a little bit dramatic in that second half and wasn't able to win it. But Edgerton's got a really good football team. Don't mistake them. And it's a team, Andy, I think, really, and again, a lot of data needs to be put into play yet, but I think it's a team that could still compete for the GMC title.
They got things humming last week against an undermanned Hilltop team, but still they exerted themselves with dominance last week in rolling to a 69-14 win. Mike, this is, I know, 2 weeks, so small sample size. This is the number one scoring offense in the GMC at 47.5 a game, and the number 2 offense in yardage per game at 413. So this is a team that is extremely capable, and it's a team that's feeding off and playing through some incredible tragic situations and playing for a fallen teammate in Levi Hess, who they lost to a car accident. And, I think it's galvanized this group.
Well, thoughts and prayers to the family, to the community, everybody with Levi Hess. Of course, that's a tragedy. And, but this Edgerton football team, I think last week they played Hilltop. Hilltop's much improved, by the way, but that being said, it wouldn't have mattered who Edgerton played last week. They were going to win that football game for Levi Hess. And they came out and really asserted their dominance early and never looked back. But I think there's tougher teams, obviously, on the horizon, even after this Montpelier game, that Edgerton's got to look at as they get into GMC play. And, again, we've got to get more data, so everything we say is kind of, without getting enough information with the teams. But this is a team, they've lost a game that they could have very well won in week 1 against Eden. This is a team that what I've seen and measuring the scores and with our contacts really is every bit as good as anybody in the GMC. So we'll see what happens as the year transfers. The thing is with Edgerton, like a lot of small schools, but especially this year, really don't have much depth.
All
so
right.
they're going to have to stay healthy.
Let's talk Montpelier now. 2 weeks in, they're off to an 0-2 start on the heels of their first playoff team since 1993, when you exclude the COVID year when everybody got in. So they had a lot of positive momentum. What's gone wrong for Montpelier? What are they having to overcome, not just through the first couple of weeks of the season, but as we move forward?
We talked about with Edgerton depth issues. Talk about depth issues on steroids for Montpelier. 22-person roster, even coming off, numbers were not good for Montpelier last year, but they had a big senior class of 12 kids. In this day and age in small schools, that's a lot of seniors this year, so the roster has been depleted from a numbers standpoint. Then they've had a couple injuries this year that also have made their issues even more difficult. So I think it's just that. It's a numbers situation that Montpelier's got 3 kids, I believe. They're as good as anybody in Northwest Ohio. Their running back, Griff Cooley, their quarterback, Hayden Sharps, and their offensive and defensive lineman in Ethan Pontius. And these are 3 high-quality players. The problem is with Montpelier, when you got a roster with 22 and only 18 healthy tonight, is you're going to have to play a lot of freshmen that, quite frankly, are not ready to play varsity ball, but they're forced to do so. They should be playing JV football, and that's been really the #1 issue for the Locomotives.
Going to take our first break here on the pregame show, being presented to you tonight and every night by Allied Molded Products. Think outside the box, or I'm sorry, think inside the box. Think inside the box at Allied Molded Products. That first break on this sun-splashed Friday night. Montpelier at Edgerton, the Brian Ford Lincoln Conversations with Andy Robinson and Brody Flagel when we come back. Statistics show that for most crops, pivot irrigation increases yields by at least 100% over dryland farming. Even in areas that get enough rainfall, timing is everything. If it doesn't come at just the right time, you could be losing yield. Maximize your production with pivots and linears from Valley Irrigation. Make the most of your acres. Contact Andy Farnham at AG Irrigation today, 419-212-2528. That's 419-212-2528.
When the time comes for you to buy or sell a home, you need a realtor who is on your team, someone who will coach you through the buying and selling process and outline the strategy for you to have a successful transaction. That someone is Misty King from Amerimaid Realty. Misty has been a team player in the real estate industry for 23 years and has an award-winning reputation for getting good results. The Amerimaid Realty team is also a top-ranking team, and together they'll help you make a smooth move to your new home. So when it's time to buy or sell, give Misty King and the Amerimaid team a call at 419-633-4997 or visit them on the web at amerimaidhomes.com.
Hi, this is Russ Davies with Andrews O'Neill & Lowe Insurance Agency. Community means caring for the people we call neighbors and the places we call home. For the past 100 years, Andrews O'Neill & Lowe has been proud to do just that. In partnership with Central Insurance, we're honored by your trust in us to protect your family, assets, business, and everything that matters most to you. Thanks for being a part of our story. We've provided you peace of mind over the past century and look forward to doing the same for the next 100 years. Learn more at andrewsoneillandlowe.com.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach, and why over 10,000 local steel dealers are putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Not everyone can say that, but we can. Made in America. Real steel. Find yours.
See Black Swamp Equipment in Bryan, Archbold, and Defiance. Welcome back to the pregame show. Time now for our conversation with the coach, and we are catching up with Edgerton head coach Brody Flagel. And Brody, a nice win for your kids last Friday night. What were some of your takeaways in that win against Hilltop?
Well, first off, thanks for having us on. Always appreciate talking with you guys in the coverage. But, yeah, it was nice to get in the win column last week. I thought our players came out focused and we had a good start, and I thought it was a complete game, offense, defense, and special teams wise, and we were happy with what we had on the field, and we're preparing this week for the Locos.
You know, Brody, I've heard many coaches tell me through the years you improved the most between weeks 1 and 2. Did you see the improvement you were hoping for from week 1 to week 2?
Yeah, we saw a lot of good things on the film and in real time. From that jump from week 1 to week 2, I thought our stamina was a lot better. I think our kids are in better shape now than what they were week 1. And yeah, we have some new faces and new places out on the field, and I thought we saw some good things from those players in week 2, especially from week 1.
Brody, do you get the sense kids are getting more comfortable in their roles and what you expect out of them in those roles?
Yeah, I think at this point in the year, and the nature of D7 football, players play multiple positions. So you always sometimes have guys out of a position they're familiar with, but most guys are at this point pretty comfortable in 2 positions, offensively and defensively, which is always good. It gives you that flexibility. But yeah, guys have been buying into what we're preaching at practice, and they're putting the time in, and you can definitely see that comfort level on Friday nights.
X's and O's wise, what have you liked that you've seen 2 games in?
I think we've been able to run the football, which it always helps things. I mean, when you're able to run the football, it opens up the pass game, opens up play action, and it opens up the man-to-man coverage. So very happy with our run game at this point. Joel Walkup has been doing a great job for us at tailback, and our offensive line has been doing a good job of running their feet up front. So the run game is going to be critical and crucial the rest of this year. But also the pass game-wise, I thought we've been pretty balanced overall. But very happy with where we're at offensively. We got to continue to put points on the board. And defensively, I thought last week we really made some improvements in the secondary. That was an area we kind of wanted to clean up from week 1. So I thought our secondary did a nice job last week, but happy with where we're at.
All right, on to week number 3 in Montpelier. What do you know about them?
Great quarterback. The quarterback can really sling it, but he can also run the ball. Coach Robinson will have their guys ready. They got a lot of athletes. They are playing some younger players, but those younger players are growing in their role. I mean, you can see it like we've already talked about from week 1 to week 2. They look a lot more comfortable on film. They're going to be ready for us. I mean, they beat us last year, so we got to be ready to go in all areas.
How important is it to get off to a good start, have some success early in this game?
Yeah, and that was one thing, too. This year, week 1 and week 2, we got off to 2 good starts. In week 1, we just kind of sputtered late, but week 2, we kind of put it together for a full game. So it's always good to get off to a full start or a great start, put some points on the board, let our defense fly around. I think it's going to be crucial again. I mean, we have small numbers, they have small numbers, so it could be a 4-quarter game, so getting off to a fast start is very important.
Other than that, Brody, X's and O's on the field, couple of keys for Edgerton Friday night?
Yeah, I think I stated that we need to run the ball. That's going to be the most important thing. We want to establish the run game early. The turnover battle, take care of the football. I think if we do that, quarterback, like I said, he is a threat running the football, and he hurt us last year on the ground, especially late in the game. So we got to make sure we are alignment and assignment sound and be great tacklers on defense.
It's our Brian Ford Lincoln conversation with the coach, talking with Edgerton head coach Brody Flagle. Brody, always appreciate the time, enjoyed the talks, and good luck Friday night.
Appreciate the coverage. Thank you.
Stay with us. More on the pregame show when we come back.
Edgerton Forge, located on US 6 just outside of Edgerton, are proud supporters of Edgerton Bulldog athletes. Looking for a new career? Apply online at edgertonforge.com/careers or stop in and see them for an application and tour the facility at 257 East Morrison Street in Edgerton, Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Join them as they forge into the future. Good luck and play tough tonight. Go Bulldogs!
Are you in the market for high-quality appliances and furniture? Look no further than Direct Link Appliance and Furniture. We have a wide selection of Whirlpool, Maytag, and KitchenAid appliances, as well as service on all makes and models. Direct Link also carries Ashley Furniture and Jameson mattresses. And new to the store, Molecule mattresses, made right in Auburn, Indiana. Don't miss out on unbeatable prices and top-notch service on everything you need to turn your house into a home. Visit Direct Link Appliance and Furniture in Bryan today.
The more your life changes, the more your insurance needs change. See Danielle Van Atta of Danielle Van Atta Agency today. She can conduct a free personal insurance review to help you determine how much and what type of coverage is right for you, with no costly gaps or overlaps. Interested? Phone Danielle Van Atta today at 419-636-0408.
Be part of the Montpelier Athletic Boosters and help support all the athletes at the Montpelier schools by calling 419-485-6785. The Montpelier Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the Montpelier athletes good luck in today's game. Strive to be the best, and you will succeed at everything you do. The Montpelier Boosters are proud of all your achievements. Good luck and do your best. That's all anyone can ask. And go Locos!
As we continue on with our Brian Ford Lincoln conversation with the coach, we are catching up with Montpelier frontman Andy Robinson. And, well, Andy, I know not the start you were hoping for 2 games in, but talk about some things that you've seen from this squad, some of your takeaways from the first 2 games this season.
One of the main things is we knew we were going to be young coming into the season, but I think the young kids have, they're practicing really hard. They're playing really hard. We make young kid mistakes right now. That's kind of one of our main things. But the nice thing to see is there hasn't been any quit out of the kids. They're still excited to come to practice every day. They're excited to come and work towards the goal of, trying to grab our first win on the season. So for me, that's been the thing that kind of, it keeps you going. It keeps you excited. As we get ready to go into week 3.
I know it's only 2 games in, and I know you're still working on the physical aspect, fundamentals in that, but how much time have you spent, Andy, on the mental aspect of the game with this group?
That's a big part for us, was having low numbers especially. The mental part of the game, trying to get these young kids up to speed early on is a big part still. So a lot of film, a lot of, player by player coaching, maybe not as much, team-led stuff all the time. That's still a big part of what we have to do, each and every day. So it's just trying to make sure that they understand the game to the best, of their ability, especially a lot of these freshmen that we're using right now.
Okay, 2 games in on the field, X's and O's wise. What have you liked that you've seen so far?
I think the offense took a good jump last week. We only scored twice, but I thought we moved the ball well. So on that side of the ball, I think we've kind of found what we want to do. We found our identity. We understand, what has to happen. And defensively, I think we found some pieces, some kids that maybe weren't, starting in that first game of the year that we think might be ready to start going into game 3 and moving on into the season. So I think defensively, we got people in the right places now. It's just getting them to fully understand what's going on each play.
On the other side of the coin, what are some areas that you would still like? And I know you're looking to get better each and every day out there, but maybe some areas that you've highlighted as a staff as maybe some areas we need to clean up in a hurry?
Yeah, we're still working on the physical part of our, of our bodies. Again, I keep reverting back to it, but with having so many of these young kids playing, we're still working on, physically making sure we're ready for a Friday night each week, making sure we're in condition, and then just making sure that we're practicing the right way each week. That's what we keep working on that. We keep harping on the kids, understanding how important, our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday physical practices are, and then having a great Thursday mental practice each and every week.
All right, so next up for you, Edgerton. Tell me what you know about them.
They're very athletic. They're kind of low on their numbers over there too, but the guys they've got playing are very talented. They've kind of gone back to playing physical bully ball, running the ball, and they've found some success with it. I think Brody does a great job over there with them, and they know how to get their athletes the ball in space. So we're going to have to make sure we're lined up correctly on each and every play. We're going to have to really know where the walk-up kid is, where the cross kid is, and make sure that, if we're going to have a shot to win the game, we got to make sure we hold them at bay.
All right, if you're going to do that, Andy, give me a couple of big keys in this one Friday night.
Well, we got to control the ball. You got to take care of it on offense. We had some trouble with that week 1, giving up the ball and, giving up some points early on. I think as long as we can go into halftime and make sure we've kept it close at that point, we're going to give ourselves a shot to win that game on Friday night.
It's our conversation with the coach, catching up with Montpelier head coach Andy Robinson. Andy, always appreciate the time. Best of luck in this one Friday night.
I appreciate your guys' coverage.
Stay with us. More on the pregame show when we come back.
Who doesn't love being number 1? When your team's dominating the standings, Or your favorite band rocks the charts at #1? It feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like #1 is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call your State Farm agent, Jody Herman, in downtown Archbold today.
It's mowing and weed season here in Northwest Ohio, and Donaldson's Ace Hardware on North Union Street in Bryan has what you need to keep your yard looking good, including the Ego battery-powered outdoor equipment, string trimmers, lawn mowers, chainsaws, hedge trimmers, along with Roundup weed and grass killer, Ortho insect killer. For indoor and perimeter, Donaldson's also has an expanded selection of pool chemicals to keep you swimming all summer long. Whatever you're looking for, Donaldson's Ace Hardware on Union Street in Bryan has you covered. Ace, the helpful place.
Your friends at your neighborhood Eden Farmers Co-op Country Store would like to invite you to stop in at the Eden, Montpelier, and Edgerton stores to check out their complete line of pet supplies, animal feed, and outdoor products. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is ready to answer all of your questions concerning their complete line of Kalmbach, Land O'Lakes, and much, much more. For your convenience, your purchase can be carried to your vehicle by one of their employees. Be sure to stop by soon and see them at your hometown country store, the Eden Farmers Co-op.
It's a milestone moment at Midwest Community Federal Credit Union. For 7 decades, we've been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Here's to the next 70 years and beyond. A future where our communities thrive and Midwest Community continues to be your partner in success.
Coverage tonight also being brought to you by Yarger Flagle Investments. Your financial future starts with Yarger Flagle Investments. Keys to the game tonight, Mike Bumb. Let's talk about them. Let's start with Montpelier on the road tonight. What do they have to do?
I think they're going to have to crowd the box and put 8 men in the box and play man-to-man in the secondary. Does that leave them susceptible to the big, deep pass? And Edgerton is very good at play-action passing, yes. But I just don't think you can win this football game by allowing Edgerton to line up and move the ball on the ground with Joel Walkup all night. So you're going to have to do something to combat that. That's number one. So stop the run by loading up the box. Number two, flip the sides here from an offensive perspective. Montpelier's going to have, I believe, 5 or more big chunk plays. What is a chunk play? That's anything over 20 yards or more per play. I don't think Montpelier is good enough and doesn't have the depth to have long sustained drives. So to win this game, they're going to have, I believe, 5 chunk plays and somehow try to manufacture points that way. And then again, get a turnover here or there to get enough points to win this game.
Edgerton, the big favorite tonight, to get to 2-1. What do they do?
Yeah, just be who you are. Don't turn the football. We can say that every week. Don't turn the football over. But I think the big thing is keep everything from a defensive perspective in front of you, Angie, and rally to the football. Don't get beat over the top. Montpelier does have Wesley Hartsock back this week, who has been gone the first 2 weeks, which is a long, fast outside threat for Hayden Sharps. And Hayden Sharps has got a great arm. There's no doubt about it. But I think if Edgerton keeps everything in front of them, and they've got a pretty good secondary led by Kellen Sanchez, who we saw in week 1, who was fantastic, rally to the football and force, just with the opposite of what I said with Montpelier, with Edgerton, force Montpelier to have long sustained drives. And I don't think Montpelier has got the roster to be able to do that. Montpelier's going to have to score in chunks. Edgerton can do that. They can manufacture drives, I think, of 10 or more plays.
Those are some keys tonight, and they are good ones from the coach, Mike Bumb. And our thanks to him for, of course, putting those together for us each and every week. That'll do it for the pregame show, and brought to you tonight and every game by Allied Molded Products. Think inside the box with Allied Molded Products. Some series history. Edgerton leads the all-time series 7-2. Montpelier put the brakes on a 5-game losing streak, winning one of our games of the year, if not our game of the year last year, the overtime thriller, Hayden Sharps with a walk-off score in overtime, and Montpelier won 34-28, ending that 5-game losing streak. The last time Montpelier had won in the series before last year was all the way back in 1979. And remember, though, this series wasn't played between 1980 and 2017. Edgerton coached by 2012 grad Brody Flagel. He's now in his 5th year, 19 and 22. They lost 2 offensive starters and 3 defensive starters. So that means a lot of kids back this year from last year's 2 and 18. They lost to Eden 36-26 in week 1, pummeled Hilltop last week 69-14. Among the kids back, Maddox Baker, Scotty Krantz, Joel Walkup, Corey Herman, Noah Weaver, good core group back for this team this season. And Baker has been extremely efficient, 27 of 32 for 412 this year and 6 touchdowns. Walkup has rushed for 310. Montpelier, 3rd year under Andy Robinson. They are 10-13 in his tenure. 0-2 start. They went to the postseason last year in a 7-4 year. That was the first time since 1993 when you exclude the COVID year. They returned Sharps as well as Cooley as coming back to the lineup. Griffin Cooley back to this lineup. They were handled by Antwerp in week 1, 34-0. A first half game with Woodmore, and then allowed a bunch of unanswered points last week in falling 44-14, 31 unanswered points. By the way, Andy Robinson, a Fairview grad. Montpelier has won the toss. They're going to get the football first. The kick will come from Parker Eldon, and off we go from Edgerton. Montpelier will just cover it up at about the 26 or 27-yard line. Falling on it was Jacob Lyons. So that's where Montpelier will have the game's first offensive possession tonight. Happy to have you here with us. Again, our thanks, by the way, from my full-time job perspective, a big thanks to both these schools and Ben Wilhelm of Edgerton for hosting, but participating in our campaign kickoff for the United Way of Williams County. So if you're here at the game and listening and want to donate to the United Way, free will donation happening down by the concession stand, and we appreciate any and all support. Montpelier in their white uniforms with a blue trim. They'll go left to right with a 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. Sharps has 2 receivers bunched left, and now he'll split out and go 5 wide. Trips to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Play clock, still time on it at 7. Sharps gets the belt high snap, fires a pass to the far side. Pass is caught by Griffin Cooley, who had a heck of a game last week. 5 catches for $113 and the only touchdown. He's brought down after a gain of about 4. Tackle is made by Maddox Baker.
Looks like Edgerton decided to man it up there in the secondary against the Locomotives with 2 deep coverage.
Braden Leppelmeyer, a kid to keep an eye on in terms of a ball hawk. He has 4 picks on the year. Flower, the leading tackler, with 15.5. That's Jackson Flower, a junior. 2nd down and 6, Montpelier at their own 30-yard line. 3 receivers come to the right, Twins to the left. So an empty set for Sharps. Sharps gets the snap. 2nd down and 6, 4-man rush. Sharps on a wheel route looking for Cooley, and it's broken up. A ball a little bit underthrown. Braden Leppelmeyer got the deflection.
Really like that secondary for Edgerton. Sanchez and Leppelmeyer. And of course, Scotty Krantz is back there roaming. Very good football player. And Cody Herman also a very nice player in the secondary. So Locomotives are going to have their work cut out for them. That was a pretty good thrown ball, I thought. Like you said, maybe a little bit underthrown there to Griff Cooley.
It'll be a 3rd and 6 for Montpelier coming up now at their own 30-yard line. Again, moving left to right. They'll break the huddle at 15. 2 receivers bunched right, 2 receivers bunched left, 1 running back here on 3rd down and 6. Edgerton showing pressure, and here they come. Walk up the middle, giving chase. Firing near side, it's incomplete. Wanted Cooley again. Good coverage from Braden Leppelmeyer, but the heat was coming from Edgerton up the middle. Jackson Flower also coming too.
Yeah, Jackson Flower and Joe Walkup both were on the blitz that time, and Montpelier did try to pick up Joe Walkup, and he ran right through it. And got Hayden Sharps, had to move his feet a little bit there on the run and didn't throw a very good ball. Montpelier's forced to punt.
So it will be Sharps who will kick it away to this Edgerton, although they are not sending anybody back. Montpelier has lined up receivers and maybe thinking of going for it unless it's going to be Sharps. Nope, they will go for it. And it'll be Sharps on a rollout. Sharps at the 35 is where he is brought down on the play by Maddox Baker. So they do not kick it away. They elect to go for it. And on that, they come up a yard shy, and Edgerton will get terrific field position at the Montpelier 35.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a quick kick there, so I really wasn't, making too many comments about it, but Montpelier elected to go for it, and got to take some chances, I guess, if you're Coach Robinson early in the game and knows he's probably, doesn't have as good a roster maybe as Edgerton, so he's trying to take some gambles there early on, but that time didn't pay off.
And now Maddox Baker in this explosive Edgerton offense breaking huddle at the Montpelier 35. 47.5 points a game through 2 weeks. 3 receivers left, empty backfield, tight end to the right. Quick pass to the near side. It is caught by Kellen Sanchez. He's at the 30. He's lassoed at the 25-yard line, ushered out of bounds first by Hartsock, and then Carter Meek, a freshman, finished him off. It's a gain of 11 and a first down.
Yeah, I think the Carter Meek for Montpelier, just only a freshman, as you said, Andy, is going to be an outstanding player for the Locomotives, offensively and defensively. Got very good size. Already about 5'11", 6 foot, 170 pounds, runs really well.
How about the start to the year for Maddox Baker? And with that completion, now 28 of 33 through the air.
Coach Flagel doesn't put him in positions where he won't have success.
Baker gives on the inside to Walkup, bounces off one man, but cannot step out of the tackle of Griffin Cooley.
Now, what do I mean by that? Obviously, he's challenged with his height. He never stands in the back of the pocket, or at least very seldom does, and throws the football. He's always on the move, getting outside the pocket or in the play-action game off the tough running game that they have with Joe Walkup.
Walkup got about 3 there. He has 310 rushing yards coming in. Krantz, the leading receiver, 9 catches for 182, and 3 of them have gone for scores.
I believe Joe Walkup's the best player in the GMC, at least the best running back in the GMC.
2 receivers bunched right, 1 receiver, almost a wing-like look to the left. Baker will fake the give. It'll be a quarterback sweep to the right. He's at the 20, stiff arms his way and steps out of bounds. Put a mean stiff arm on Zeppelin Morales, another one of those freshmen, and he scoots on down for about 5 yards on the play. It'll be a long 1 for the first down.
Locomotives may take their hits this year, but they do got a lot of young talent that's being forced to play. You'd like them to play JV, but it is what it is, and of course down the road that's going to pay dividends.
It will be 3rd down and 1 just outside the 15-yard line. Line to gain is the 14, so it's a long 1. Walkup is the running back, the left halfback. Tight end to the left, receiver to the left and to the right. The give is to Walkup, has some room. Walkup stretches it down to the 10, and he will collect the first down on a gain of 5 on the play. Cooley and Sharps make the tackle.
2 of the best for the Locomotives, Cooley and Sharps. We highlighted them. I did call him Ethan Pontius. That's his brother. I meant Logan Pontius. 3 top-notch players for the Locomotives that I believe would start on any team in Northwest Ohio and be dynamic players for any of those teams in Northwest Ohio.
It's a gain of 3 to the 12-yard line, so a 1st and 10 at the 12. Trips to the left. That's the way he looks. And Baker now flushed out of the pocket, throws a little dump pass to the 10, to the 5, and out of bounds is Kellen Sanchez. And they'll spot him at the 5 on a gain of 7. A little quick hitter to the left side.
It's the second time they targeted Sanchez, and boy, he has improved so much this year. We saw him in week 1 against Eden. He was an impact player both on the offensive side and the defensive side. Very fast, very shifty.
2nd and 3 from the 5. 9:36 to play in the first quarter. Edgerton on the doorstep. Sanchez and Walkup in the backfield. It's Walkup who will be cut down, and a loss on the play. Good defensive play that time by Jackson Staylor off the edge.
Yeah, Jackson Staylor, one of those veteran players for one of those few veteran players for the Locomotives, plays in that H-back position and outside linebacker for Montpelier. Did a nice job on a little blitz action there.
Maybe lost a half yard on the play. It'll be 3rd and a long 3 from just outside the 5. No score on the Andres O'Neill & Lowe scoreboard, but Edgerton hoping to rectify that. 9-minute mark of the opening quarter. Walkup the only running back. 3 receivers to the right side of the formation. Baker peeks over, has the play. Baker on a half roll out to the right, now maybe running, throws towards the end zone, juggled and then caught by Corey Herman in the front right corner of the end zone. Edgerton strikes first.
Nice throw that time by Maddox Baker. The only person that could have caught that ball was Corey Herman right there in the corner of the end zone.
It's a 5-yard TD pass, And Edgerton on the board at 6-0.
You talk about efficiency. You have mentioned it already about Maddox Baker. Highly efficient, much improved from last year, not only throwing the football, but also running the football for the Bulldogs.
Parker Eldon on for the extra point. Snap, spot, kick is a line drive, and the kick is good. First score of the night belongs to Edgerton on the Andres O'Neill and Lowe scoreboard. 7-0 Dogs, 8:50 to play first quarter.
Jason Deach Collision and Customs is Northwest Ohio's largest trailer dealer with over 300 trailers in stock, from 53-foot race trailers and custom toter homes to open deck car trailers, dump trailers, landscape trailers, and equipment trailers. But they don't just sell trailers, they service them, add options, and do repairs on any brand. Because they're racers themselves, they know how to build the trailer right for your racing needs. Stop by their Edgerton location or shop 24/7 at jasondeachtrailersales.com. If you can dream it, they can build it at Jason Deach Collision and Customs.
With over 30 years of experience in caring for patients' eyes, doctors Sainholtz and Koonsman have the knowledge to find the right vision correction option for you. From spectacles to laser vision correction to the latest development of the overnight contact lenses. Doctors Sainholtz and Koonsman at Tri-State Vision Center want to be your next option. Phone 419-485-4257. Monday and Wednesday evening and Saturday appointments available. It's not just about your eyes, it's about your health at the Tri-State Vision Center.
Andy Brigle, Mike Bumb back here at Stauffer Field in Edgerton, where the Bulldogs strike quickly, take advantage of a short field. It's an 8-play, 35-yard drive. When Montpelier went for it, came up short by a yard, and Baker to Herman for the 5-yard score. Here's the kick from Eldon, end over end. It'll be fielded at it'll be lost at the 16, 17-yard line, and now a scramble for it up near the 25. Montpelier will get back on the football. That was Carter Meek who was able to cover it up. So 1st and 10 Locos at their own 24-yard line for their second drive of the night. They'll go left to right here, of course. 4 down linemen for the Bulldogs. It's Edgerton getting back, and I think you saw that in week 1, getting back or trying to get back to that physicality where they had the success in the 17, 18, 19 seasons.
4 of 5 offensive linemen returning from last year.
5 wide look. Here's a go route down the near sideline for Cooley, and just cannot come up with it. As Sharps just overthrew Cooley by a touch, it was Leppelmeyer again on coverage.
Yeah, maybe arguably, I think Edgerton's got some really good secondary player, but arguably Montpelier's best weapon on offense against the best defensive player for Edgerton, at least in the secondary, with Leppelmeyer there. And Hayden just threw the ball a little bit too far out of bounds. But I like what Coach Robinson's trying to do. He's trying to isolate his playmakers, that being Cooley, that being on the other side, Wesley Hartsock, and really targeting them to see if they can make some one-on-one plays.
2nd down and 10, Montpelier at their own 24. Sharps will have Carter Meek in the backfield. 2 receivers bunched right and left on this 2nd down and 10. It'll be Meek on the carry, and Meek hit in the backfield and still keeping his legs, powers his way back close to the original line of scrimmage. First contact was Jackson Flower, and then eventually cleaned up by Evan Stark, and it'll be 3rd and long.
Yeah, Coach Flagel really likes Jackson Flower. He says he's been the heartbeat of their defense, their leading tackler right there, and really hit Carter Meeks before he could get going. Carter Meeks is going to be a really good football player, but that time just nowhere to go.
Lost a yard on the play. It'll be 3rd and 11. 7-0 Edgerton. 8 minutes to play first quarter. And on the Andres O'Neill and Lowe scoreboard, 5 wide look, trips to the left, twins to the right. On this 3rd and 11. Play clock at 7, snap comes. An out route is going to be incomplete, and a late flag comes in. I think we may get roughing the passer against Edgerton. Jackson Staler, the intended target.
I think it was a good call because they came up high. Couldn't tell who the defender was, but they hit Hayden Sharps up above the neck area, it appeared there. So that's going to be an automatic first down for the Locomotives.
Yep. And first penalty of the night belongs to the Dogs. Update, Columbus Grove is leading Patrick Henry 7-0. That's a good week 3 matchup.
It really is. I think Columbus Grove wins that game. Again, you've heard me talk about, I think this is maybe the weakest the NWL's been in, I don't know, 20, 25 years this year. You take away Liberty Center at the top, and really not as good a quality teams as what they've had in the past historically. Still a great league.
Penalty flag brings Montpelier out to the 38-yard line, their own 38. on a 1st and 10. By the way, when we're done tonight and officially wrap everything up on air and maybe get a little mini scoreboard show in, we'll see if timing, but Guardians Dodgers from LA, 10-10 first pitch tonight.
You got a little interest in that, don't you there, Ange?
I do. I sure do. Battle of first place teams. Here's a jet sweep give to Griffin Cooley. Cooley tries to get around the edge, but guess who can't let him? And that's Joe Walkup, although Walkup could have gotten some of the face mask because a marker is down where the tackle happened for no gain.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it's going to be, Andy. And Montpelier is going to get another, could be a 15-yarder here.
Walkup went high to bring him down, and it is a face mask. Next week, we're right back here in sunny Edgerton, and I think next Friday we're back to some heat as well.
Yeah.
But it's going to be Antwerp-Edgerton to open GMC play from Stauffer Field in Edgerton. The Dogs and the Archers Friday night on B-Rock Sports. And I believe the road going to take us to Eden for Eden hosting Whiteford, Michigan. That could be a nice matchup.
That'll be a great game. If you know anything about Whiteford, Michigan, as far as the small school world is concerned, they're amongst the elite in southeast Michigan.
So they're making sure that they have it spotted correctly. It's a 5-yarder, so it's 1st and 5 at the 43. 4 receivers right, 1 receiver to the left side on this 1st and 5 for Montpelier. Hayden Sharps hand signaling to the receivers. Sharps and the skill players, I think Montpelier as a whole have gotten hold and grasped this spread offense that Andy Robinson has brought in now in the 3rd year. Sharps on the run, throws near side. Did he get a foot down? No, incomplete.
See, I've got a pretty good view of that. I thought that was a catch, Andy.
I thought so, too. Looked like Cooley done a nice job with the toe tap.
I really do. I think that's unfortunate. We've got a great view right here, and that's on Edgerton's sideline. It's easy to call in favor of the Dogs, but I thought Griff Cooley made a great – in fact, I thought he had 2 feet in. So good throw by Sharps, even better catch and keeping his feet in bounds by Cooley, but nonetheless, it's going to be called out of bounds.
Holgate and Stryker in an 8-man update, 8-0 Tigers, and Columbus Grove scoop and score. Actually, a scoop and run to the 3, and then they scored. It's 14-0 Grove over Patrick Henry. Here's Sharps on the run to the 45. And jitterbugs his way out to about the 47-yard line. It'll be a yard shy of the 1st down on a 2nd and 5. So now it'll be 3rd and 1. Montpelier at their own 47.
Coach Rob loves the spread offense. Of course, it's a quarterback-driven offense, and they've got a really good one in Hayden Sharps. And he's got a big-time arm. He's 6'2", runs very well. He's got all the tools that you want in a quarterback.
5 wide look, 3 to the right, 2 to the left, 3rd down and 1. Edgerton 3 down linemen on this 3rd and 1, although creeping the backers up. And here they come in mass. And Sharps stutter steps his way to the 48. Did a great job dodging Kellen Sanchez as the first tackle attempt. Eventually it's Bryce Schrader who brought him down, but not before he collects that yard he needed for a 1st down at the 48.
And why this is big is because it's keeping the ball away from the Edgerton offense. If Montpelier can kind of get a few 1st downs and just hang around a little bit, crazy things can happen here. And so far, Edgerton's helped them out, though, haven't they, Andy, with some penalties, though?
A little more than midway through quarter number 1, 7-0 Edgerton on the Andres O'Neill and Lowe scoreboard. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. 1st and 10 Montpelier at their own 48-yard line. Penalty flags fly. It was going to be a quick screen to Staylor, and instead it will be a false start on Montpelier. So now 1st and 15 coming up. What do you see in the growth of Hayden Sharps, a kid that started as played as a freshman, got the starting job by the end of the year, played all of last year as a sophomore, and now this is his team, this is his offense, this is his program right now. Where have you seen the improvement, and where do you need to see even more steps made?
Yeah, good question. I think he's legit, by the way. We'll start with that. I think he's got, like I said, he's got all the tools, size, strength, arm talent, which is huge.
Let's come back to it after this play. We got another 5 wide look on a 1st and 15. Sharps looking left, under pressure, on the move, dumps it down the field, incomplete, intended for Jacob Lyons, but Scotty Cron's had great coverage. It'll be 2nd and long.
I think his decision making right now is something that maybe you could be a little critical, but I would not be too critical because he's got to improvise, a lot with the youth and inexperience that they have up front. With that also, he's got a couple nice wideouts, but he's also got, again, some youth and inexperience in the wide receiver area. So he doesn't have the superstar parts around him that he can really showcase his talents. I think he's a fantastic quarterback. I think he's one of the best in the area.
Second down and 15. Sharps wants to throw this stop and go, and he overshoots Cooley by a long ways. That time, and Leppelmeyer just batted his head with his hands because he knew he got away with getting burned.
And I love how they're targeting Cooley. Cooley, the most effective offensive weapon for the Locomotives. And right on cue there, I'm just talking up Hayden Sharp's bad throw there. You got to complete that. That was a little wheel route there, or stop and go, and that should have been 6 points for the Locomotives. So I think he's got all the tools. I think sometimes, decision making is something that maybe you could say something he needs to work on.
7-0 Fairview leads Bryan in the opening quarter of play there, trying to put the brakes on a 3-game losing streak to the Bears. Man in motion coming to the near side on 3rd and 15. This is a tunnel screen that will be caught on the far side at about the 47 by Wesley Hartside, but quickly hit by Corey Herman and company, and it will be a 4th and about 13, make it 11. So gain of 4 on the play, but a 4th and 11, and I don't see Andy Robinson going for 4th and 11 here after going for it on his own side of the field on the first drive, although we'll see.
Sharps is also the punter, and a very good punter at that, and it looks like Montpelier is going to get in a punt formation.
And we have 2 good punters in this game because Herman's averaging 42 yards a kick.
We really do, and look out, Scotty Krantz is the returner for Edgerton, and he can fly.
4th and 11 near midfield. Montpelier is yet to get into Edgerton territory here in this opening quarter. 4.5 left in it. Sharps' kick is away, hits at the 23. It'll be fielded by Krantz at the 18, and he's powered down on the play by Logan Pontius. Up near the 25-yard line, a punishing tackle by Pontius.
Boy, that was great hustle play by Logan Pontius. Remember, I talked about him as being one of the big 3, Cooley, Pontius, and Sharps. Montpelier's going to get the ball back because that's going to be a roughing the punter.
Wow, Edgerton, this is something that Brody Flegel talked in the offseason and then in the preseason. Turnovers, lack of a running game, and penalties are the things that led them to a 2-8 season. I think were the 3 biggest culprits to the 2-8 season.
Well, we saw them in week 1, and 2 of those was true. The running game was great, by the way, so that's solved. But penalties and turnovers, they had both of those against Edgerton. It's been really sloppy couple series here by Edgerton. They've had 3 big penalties that have allowed Montpelier to keep the drive going here, and more importantly, getting those ticks off the clock and keeping the ball away from the Edgerton. Edgerton's only had 1 possession, and we got 4 minutes in the first quarter left.
Delta 7, Lake nothing midway through the first. Evergreen 14-zip over Rossford, and late in the first, St. Mary's on top of Defiance 7-0. Bulldogs trying to avoid an 0-3 start. This will be a 1st and 10 Montpelier, now at the 37 of Edgerton, and this will now become the 11th play of this drive as it stays alive. Quick pop to Staylor near side, and Herman and Flower bring him down after a short gain of 1. Got to the 36.
Yeah, it's a good job there flexing out Jake Flower out there that time for Jackson Flower, that time, and boy, he runs the football really well. Plays the middle linebacker for Edgerton, but also can flex out a little bit against spread teams and cover smaller wide receivers.
Wapakoneta, an early 7-0 lead on Ottawa Glandorf in the WBL. 3:45 to go in the opening quarter. 7-0 Edgerton, our score here. Sharps with a 5-wide look. 3 receivers go wide to the left, 2 to the right. Man comes in motion is Carter Meek. They bubble him out just a little bit, go to a crosser, and the pass is going to be caught by Griffin Cooley. The 6'1 junior hauls it in and gets to the 26-yard line. That should be enough for a Montpelier first down. End of 1, Archbold 3, Tenora 0.
Nice route there by Cooley and great delivery by Sharps. Again, Montpelier doing a nice job of isolating their strengths, trying to get the ball to their playmakers.
So another empty set. Montpelier goes empty most of the time. 5 wide, 3 to the left, 2 receivers to the right. 1st and 10 at the Edgerton 26. Couple of big penalties keeping this drive alive. Underneath they go to Staylor. He gets at least 6, maybe 7 before Krantz and Braden Leppelmeyer bring him down at the 20. So give him 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Clock ticking down toward the 2:50 mark left in this first quarter. Edgerton's only drive started when Montpelier went for it on their side of the field, came up short. Edgerton went 8 plays, 35 yards. Baker to Herman for the only points of the game thus far, and it's 7-0 Dogs, but Montpelier on the move. 2nd and 4 at the Edgerton 20. 2-by-2 look in this formation with one running back. That's Morales in the backfield. He'll pick up the blitzer. That's a fade route toward the end zone, and it's incomplete, and flags are everywhere.
Yeah.
Intended for Wesley Hartsock, and they're going to get Baker on the PI on the far side.
They are, and it's a good call by the official. And also Wesley Hartsock, first game back, and added another weapon for the Montpelier Locomotives, about 6'2". Nice, long, athletic body. He should have caught that one, though. That should have been a touchdown. Well-thrown ball by Sharps.
Edgerton Montpelier's had some good, well-executed plays on this drive, but Edgerton has been their own worst enemy, too.
Yeah, they really have. They've allowed Montpelier to sustain drives with bad penalties, just dumb penalties. The roughing the punter, the roughing the passer, the series before that. So Montpelier's hoping, if you're a Montpelier fan, you're hoping they can take advantage of this.
So they'll step this penalty off.
However, it gets a little bit tighter as you get into the red zone, and Montpelier has shown no effectiveness of running the football thus far in the game. Everything's been through the air.
So this is a 1st and goal now at the 10-yard line. This will be the 14th play of this drive. Remember, a roughing the penalty punter, or roughing the punter penalty was the big one initially, or Edgerton would have the football right now. And Andy Robinson wants a timeout. 2:24 left, opening quarter of football, 7-0 Edgerton, but Montpelier a 1st and goal when you come back.
Michael Jordan once said, some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen, and others make it happen. The Edgerton Bulldogs want it, wish for it, and make it happen. The Edgerton Athletic Boosters want to thank all of the Edgerton athletes for their hard work and dedication, and want to wish the athletes and coaches good luck. So from the Edgerton Athletic Boosters, go get 'em Bulldogs. We're behind you all of the way. Good luck to all the Edgerton athletes.
Andy Brigle, Mike Bumb back here at Stauffer Field in Edgerton as we move to the late stages of this first quarter. It's 7-0 Bulldogs. Baker to Herman on a 5-yard TD pass for the only points of the night, but now a 1st and goal for Montpelier at the 10-yard line here as Andy Robinson spent a timeout.
Hayden Sharp's been effective, 5 for 14 for 60 yards so far.
Cooley, the huge target guy, and as we've talked already, he should be. Jackson Staler starting to get in the mix. Wesley Hartsock had a ball. In fact, it was Hartsock who was the intended target on the pass interference.
That's 3 solid wide receivers for the Locomotives.
Zeppelin Morales, fantastic first name, by the way. Yeah, get the lead out, Zeppelin.
Isn't that cool?
In the backfield. Here's the snap, and Morales, they pull it from him. It'll be Sharps on the keep. Walk-up brings him down from behind, hauling him in at the 9-yard line. So a gain of 1. And it will be 2nd down and goal at the 9.
This is when it gets tough sledding for the Locomotives without a solid running game. All those bodies are constricted into a small space, and it makes it very difficult to throw the football.
2nd and goal, 9-yard line, 7-0 Bulldogs. $1:55 and rolling to play first quarter. Montpelier has played keep away effectively, but now can they get points out of it? 3 receivers right, 1 receiver to the left. The one wide out is Hartsock to the left side. Right now he has one-on-one unless Krantz is going to roll over the top for help, but they look to the right, firing in and out of the hands of Jackson Staler. A ball that should have been caught at the 5-yard line. Closing in was Sanchez to help break it up. And now it will be 3rd and goal. This is at least Foz, a 16-play drive.
Wow, and time-consuming. Obviously, it's a 4-down territory here for the Locomotives. I don't think field goals are going to win them the game. Look for Montpelier to try to isolate some of the length that they have on the wideout position of Wesley Hartsock, who's 6'2", and Griff Cooley, who's also 6'2".
Especially for an offense, back to the whole field goal game. This is an offense that's averaging 7 points a game through 2 weeks.
Yeah.
3 receivers left, 1 receiver to the right. The only running back is Carter Meek. Sharps on an out route. Pass is going to be dropped by Staylor. He was turning toward the end zone and would have been there, but he did not have the football.
Great design play by Coach Robinson. The little pick route there. Staylor was open. He just dropped the football, or that would have been 6.
So now the 17th play of the drive will be a 4th and goal at the 9 that Montpelier will go for. By the way, they're end of 1 on Q96.5. Fairview leads Bryan 7-zip. That's our score here with Edgerton on top 7-0. The 4th and goal at the 9. 3 receivers to the short side of the field. That's to the right of the formation. Twins to the left. Empty backfield for Sharps. Edgerton coming with the middle backer blitz. The throw over the middle is going to be caught by Staylor, but short of the end zone. Leppelmeyer brings him down at the 2, and Montpelier will be stopped on downs.
Yeah. Sharps just couldn't scan the field there because he had 2 wide open receivers in the back of the end zone, but the pressure on the blitz by Edgerton just didn't give Sharps enough time to find those receivers.
Great job by Edgerton. Chase McClellan, the defensive coordinator, knew that he had that they had to get into the end zone. There was no first down to pick up. He had an excellent defense on, let him catch underneath, but you got to rally to the football, and a great open field tackle made by Braden Leppelmeyer.
And you know what? That whole series, despite the penalties, Edgerton did a nice job of keeping everything underneath them and doing just that, rallying to the football.
1st and 10 now. Edgerton pinned at their own 3-yard line. Walk up the only running back. It'll be Baker on a quarterback draw to the 5, running for some daylight before it closes at about the 8 or 9 yard line. That stop made by Hayden Sharps. 5 yards for Baker, and it'll be 2nd and 5. Score updates. It is Delta 10, Lake nothing, end of 1. Crestview shutting out Wayne Trace 10-0 at the end of 1. We are late in the first quarter. 7-0 Edgerton, inside of a minute to play in it. 3 receivers to the right. Walk up gets the carry, runs into a wall, but came out of that wall and is going to get across the 15 to the 16 or 17. Ryan Riggenbaugh and Johnny Fritsch had him, but then they didn't have him anymore because the leg stayed churning, and that's what walk up does. This time he rumbles out to the 16-yard line and a first down.
Another penalty there, Angie, and it looks like it's going to go against...
I didn't see a preliminary indication.
Yeah, it was at the beginning. I thought it was going to go against Edgerton again.
I think it is.
That's going to drive Coach Flago crazy because... Nope, targeting. I'm sorry. Boy, I didn't see that.
Yep, we stand corrected. It did look like the official with the football was going to start backtracking, but it was just the way he was turned on the field. So this is a targeting 15-yard penalty against Montpelier that will bring the football all the way out to the 31-yard line and out of the danger zone.
Kind of a unique call there with that sequence of play because it was simply just a run in the middle there, and the targeting must have been on the ball carrier, I guess. You don't usually see that in that kind of a context of a play there when the ball is just a middle run. But nonetheless, 15-yard gain for the Bulldogs.
And a 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs now out to the 31. They gave Montpelier a lot of chances on that last Montpelier drive with penalties, and now Montpelier will return the favor to the Dogs. Andy Robinson getting an explanation on the far side. 48 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. 7-0 Edgerton. They have a 1st and 10. Napoleon leads Northview 20-0 at the end of 1 in an NLL game there. So 1st and 10 out at the 31-yard line. 3 down linemen, couple of edge rushers for Montpelier in this 5-man front. Walk up the running back. They fake it to him, and on the pull and the run, Baker trying to get the edge. 30, 35, 40. Baker steps out of bounds at about the 43. Give him 12 on the run. Showing him the way to the near sideline was Carter Meek, but Baker using his feet. And remember, Baker came in to this with the ability to run 78 yards through the first couple of games. How about Eastwood pounding Wasion end of 1, 21-0.
Yeah, another one of those teams that's usually one of the top tier of the NWAL with a roster that's down this year, and that's the Wasion Indians.
1st and 10 Edgerton at their own 43-yard line. Hash mark to the near side. They'll move right to left for at least this play. Quick screen to the far side. It's Krantz with the catch at the 40. Krantz stutter steps back into the middle, and now he'll reverse his field all the way to the near side looking for a wall. He's at the 45. He ran east and west a lot of ways before he's brought down by Cooley and Meek out at the 46-yard line, gained only 3 yards on the play.
Nice job by Montpelier of staying disciplined. Coach Branshaw, the defensive coordinator, always has a really good game plan, I think, for the Edgerton Bulldogs, and they've been solid so far. I mean, really, they've been in the right position area. I think their coverages have been solid. They've kept everything in front of them. The first series was Edgerton had a short field, but Montpelier, of course, gives them a penalty here this time. But I think overall they've been solid.
Brody Flagel was questioning the near side official, saying that Montpelier, a player, had gotten into the face mask of Scotty Krantz, and Krantz was showing him either a cut or something in there, and now Brody Flagel has to spend a timeout. We're staying right here since we only have 25 seconds left in this first quarter. Well, overall thoughts here, Mike. It's only 7-0 Edgerton. Bulldogs came in big-time favorites, number 1 offense in the GMC in terms of scoring points, and number 2 in yards. And Montpelier had been hammered the first 2 weeks of the season. But we have a game here through a quarter of play.
Yeah, we do. Now, some of that's because of the penalties by Edgerton, but give Montpelier credit where credit is due. They came to play. Had a situation where they moved the ball with a couple nice completions there with Hayden Sharps. Just couldn't get in the end zone there. Struggling to run the football, but playing, I think, by and large, pretty decent defense right now and making Edgerton work for every yard that they're getting.
Columbus Grove mauling Patrick Henry 21-0 now.
Yeah.
Grove's really good.
They are really good. I think Patrick Henry's probably the second best team in the NWAL behind Liberty Center. Again, I just
and it's a pretty sizable gap from 1 to 2.
So, Ange. And then your third and fourth is what? Delta and Archibald? Who knows which one of those two is better? And then I think it really drops off with Swanton, Evergreen, and Bryan. I think all 3 of them are just going to struggle this year. So, and Wauseon. Again, Wauseon and Bryan, 2 teams in the NWL that are historically amongst the upper echelon. Probably not the case this year.
Each team now has spent a timeout in this opening quarter. It'll be a second down and 7 for Edgerton at their own 46-yard line. Baker, a quick flip to the right side, tossing it to Walkup. Walkup is at the 48-yard line of Montpelier. He swung forward, and actually they're going to put his knee down at midfield, so they're only going to give him 4 on the run. And we're going to start the second quarter with a third down and about 3 for Edgerton. First quarter in the books here at Stauffer Field in Bulldog Country. It's Edgerton 7, Montpelier nothing. You're listening to Week 3 of high school football on B-Rock Sports.
Peltz Lumber of Montpelier and Pioneer is here to serve you. Not only have they been offering the finest in building materials for generations, but they also have a website with over 80,000 items for you to browse right at your fingertips and in your own home. Just go to peltzlumber.com and hit the products button, and there it is. Tools, hardware, lumberyard and building materials, windows, doors, kitchen, and bath. Check out all the items you need and the prices and stop by the store in Montpelier or Pioneer, or give them a call at 419-485-3059. Peltz Lumber, building for a new generation. Downtown Bryan, Ohio has become quite the shopping destination in the past few years, thanks in part to Elian's Boutique, the Maddox Men's Emporium, and Faith and Grace Baby Boutique. These incredible stores offer something for everyone, featuring men's and women's apparel, newborn and kids apparel, maternity wear, specialty foods and drinks, barware, jewelry and accessories, giftable items, and much, much more. They're located on the east side of the square in downtown Bryan and open weekdays 10 to 6 and Saturdays 10 to 3. So come to downtown Bryan, Ohio, and visit the Elian's family of stores for all your shopping needs.
Welcome back to Edgerton, Week 3 of the high school football season. Happy to have you on board with us here tonight. It's been a good first quarter of play. Montpelier a ball hog in time of possession, but it's Edgerton with the points, leading it 7-0. It'll be a 3rd and 3 for Edgerton from midfield, now moving left to right. Baker wants to throws a little hook route far side. It'll be caught by Sanchez, steps out of a couple of tackles before he's brought down by Jackson Staylor at about the 38-yard line. That'll be a gain of 13 on 3rd down and 3. Another safe pass play, and Edgerton using their athletes in space to get the first down.
Sanchez's 3rd catch tonight, 39 yards for Maddox Baker through the air so far.
So a 1st and 10 dogs at the 37-yard line of Montpelier. Hash mark far side of the field. Edgerton left to right. tight end to the right. One receiver both ways, couple of halfbacks, one on each side of Baker. Sanchez and Walkup. They belly it and pull it back, and now on the scramble, Baker is going to be leveled by Malachi Smith. 5'11", 220-pound linebacker came up and throws him for a loss of 4 on the sack.
Yeah, another one of those young players for the Locomotives, only a sophomore, Malachi Smith. Big, athletic-bodied kid, and I think he's going to be somebody that you're going to have to contend with for the next 2 years for the Locomotives. Montpelier's roster numbers get better after this year. Some young talent. But this year's roster right now only with 23 kids on it.
Second down and 14 for Edgerton at their own, at the Montpelier 41-yard line. It'll be Walkup off the left side. Walkup runs into his own lineman, but plows down to the 36-yard line. He'll pick up 5 yards on the play. Fritsch with a tackle, but now it'll be a 3rd and 9 for Edgerton.
Johnny Fritsch getting off a tackle that time. Again, 5 yards. That's obviously a success if you're an Edgerton team, but it's been tough sledding for the Bulldogs. Yeah. Montpelier has made some contact in the backfield and made them work for every yard they've gotten.
3rd and 9 from the 36-yard line of Montpelier. Empty backfield, 3 receivers right. They'll throw a quick screen to Krantz at the 35. Krantz can't get away from Griffin Cooley. Good sure-handed tackle made by Cooley with Riggenball coming up to help. It's 5 on the gain, but now it will be a 4th and 4 for this Edgerton offense. Coverage tonight also brought to you by Yarger Flegel Investments. Let their team create investment strategy tailored to you. Yarger Flegel Investments, phone 419-298-2000.
It's a big play for the Locomotives here. If they can get off the field and get their offense back on it.
So here's your 4th down and 4 from the 31-yard line. One receiver both ways. Play clock at 7. Baker with Walkup in the backfield. Sanchez to the left. Krantz to the right. Here's your 4th down. Baker throws an out route. Far side, juggled and dropped by Sanchez, and Edgerton cannot cash in. They'll give it up on downs, and Montpelier will take over.
Well thrown ball by Baker. Sanchez, who's usually sure-handed, just took his eyes off the ball, much like when Jackson Staler, same kind of part of the field there, too. A little bit farther back, but looking back, same kind of route, too, that time, and just took his eyes off it and incomplete. That's a big stop for the Montpelier defense.
Bryan has tied things up with Fairview, 7-7. About 6.5 to go in that first half of play.
I thought that game would be competitive. I think Fairview wins, but it won't be a walkthrough.
So 1st and 10 Montpelier. This drive will begin at their own 31-yard line. 3 receivers will bunch to the right for Montpelier. 2 receivers to the left. The 2 receiver set to the left to the short side of the field. Play clock at 13, so plenty of time there. An empty set. Man comes in motion. That's Carter Meek. Sharps wants to throw. Sharp down the seam. Got a man open. It's underthrown and intercepted. Picked off by Braden Leppelmeyer, his 5th INT of the season.
You can see why he's a ball hawk, and he has 5 interceptions that time. Carter Meek was open momentarily. You said it best, a little bit underthrown, probably too much air under the ball that time, and a good defensive back like Leppelmeyer high points it and comes down with the interception.
And an Edgerton turnover forced will get the football right back in their offensive hands at 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
I think if you're Hayden Sharps, you got to put that more on a line, Ange, don't you think?
I would agree. So 1st and 10 for Edgerton at their own 39. 3 receivers come to the right. Tight end. Actually, it'll be a double tight set with an empty backfield. So double tight, 3 wide receiver look. They throw the screen to Walkup. Walkup gets a nice block on the outside from Krantz, but ran right into the arms of Griffin Cooley to hold him to a short gain of about 2 or 3 on the play.
Talking to Coach Branshaw, Edgerton likes to do a lot of horizontal plays, throwing screens, throwing bubbles, those kind of things. So defensively, he's adjusted such where he spreads all of his people out, more crowded around the line of scrimmage in a horizontal manner, not so concerned with the verticals.
They put it at the 42, so it'll be 2nd down and 7 for Edgerton. 8:50 to go in this first half of football. Walkup, stutter step, gets to the outside, 45-50. Sanchez with a great downfield block, 40, 35, spins and steps out of bounds. It'll be Meek who taps him out of bounds, but the run will take Edgerton into Montpelier territory. That will be a gain of, and we have an injured Montpelier player down, it will be a gain of 24 on the run to the 34-yard line. Timeout for an injury. 8:43 to play first half. 7-0 Edgerton into Montpelier territory when we come back.
Statistics show that for most crops, pivot irrigation increases yields by at least 100% over dryland farming. Even in areas that get enough rainfall, timing is everything. If it doesn't come at just the right time, you could be losing yield. Maximize your production with pivots and linears from Valley Irrigation. Make the most of your acres. Contact Andy Farnham at AG Irrigation today, 419-212-2528. That's 419-212-2528.
Hi, this is Tammy Bergman with Andrews, O'Neill & Lowe Insurance Agency. Andrews, O'Neill & Lowe has cared for our neighbors for a century. We believe when communities are strong, everyone benefits. From your family to your assets, your employees to your business. We're proud to partner with Central Insurance to protect what matters most to you, because you are what matters most to us. Here's to the next 100 years of delivering on our promise to provide peace of mind on good days and when facing the unexpected. Learn more at andrewsoneillandlowe.com.
The injured loco is Jackson Staylor, the junior, being helped to his feet and not putting much of any weight on that right ankle, right knee, right. It's something leg or ankle after the gain of 24 by walk-up, and that's a damaging loss to Montpelier, short-term and long-term potentially.
Sure is. He's a kid that they can't afford to lose. Montpelier can't afford to lose anybody, but a high-quality player. And hopefully it's nothing too serious, but the way he's walking right there, I don't foresee him coming back this game at the very least.
No, I would agree with that. We wish him, of course, the best. Meanwhile, Walkup gets Edgerton down to the 34-yard line of Montpelier. 7-0 Bulldogs. 8:43 to go in this opening half of football here on WBNO-FM in Bryan. Sanchez, Krantz, Walkup. 3 wide receivers to the right. Double tight set with Herman and Carter Gibson, the tight ends. Baker with an empty. They fake the screen. Now they've got wide receivers all open down the field, and none able to catch it is Krantz. Baker threw it a little bit behind him, but Krantz has got to make that grab, and if he's not open, Sanchez was wide open too.
Yeah, I don't know how 2 receivers ended up in the same area there. Probably, I'm sure that's not how Coach Flagel drew it up, but nonetheless, great ball by Maddox Baker, hit Scotty Krantz. Again, normally sure-handed, right in the hands, and he just plumb dropped it.
2nd and 10, Edgerton at the 34 of Montpelier. Hash mark actually in the middle of the field. 3 receivers, make it 2 receivers bunching to the right, 1 receiver to the left, walk up the running back. Counter give to him, 35-30, 25-20, lowers the shoulder, and a punishing run, or finish to the run that gets him 16 more to the 18-yard line as he made Meek feel that tackle.
Did. It's a big back with Joe Walkup that time, and a great job by the left side of the offensive line by the Bulldogs. And Ty Leplemeyer and Chris Lockwood did a good job of just caving down Montpelier number 51, that time Jackson Flower.
2 receivers bunch right, 1 receiver to the left, quarterback sweep all the way. Baker 25, Baker 20, and he cannot get away. Cooley read that all the way and wrestles him out of bounds as Cooley and Baker are kind of tied up here on the near side. Brody Flagel wanted a little extracurricular, but that tackle started to happen in the field of play.
I think Brody's not arguing it too much.
No, not anymore.
That's a clean play.
That's a gain. Actually, it's a loss of 2 on the play back to the 20, so it'll be 2nd and 12 for Edgerton back at the 20-yard line. Cooley not only read the play beautifully, but great closing speed to get him. You know, back to Walkup. He's a successful athlete in multiple sports at Edgerton, so you love to see that, but you can just tell and feel this is the sport he loves. Absorb contact and also deliver contact. Here is Sanchez spinning after the catch, diving and getting into the end zone for the touchdown. That was just a quick screen to the far side that Kellen Sanchez turned into points on the catch after the run after the catch. It's an 18-yarder, and it is 13-0 Edgerton. So the second TD pass of the night for Baker.
He's looked sharp all night.
He sure has. Edgerton losing last year in overtime to Montpelier, but have won 5 of the last 6. And now before the try, we have a timeout on the field. So we're going to step aside, and then we will come back. Actually, the try is good. I beg your pardon. 14-0. The extra point is good. I was looking down at a couple of notes. My apologies there. So it's 14-0 Edgerton after they drill the extra point. Eldon did. So we'll take a 30-second timeout, and we'll be right back.
Are you in need of quality furniture and appliances? Look no further than DirectLink Appliance and Furniture. With Whirlpool, Maytag, and KitchenAid appliances, and Ashley Furniture, and Jameson mattresses, and new to the store, Molecule mattresses. Made right in Auburn, Indiana. You'll find everything you need for your home. Plus, our trained technicians provide service to all makes and models of appliances. With unbeatable prices and impeccable customer service, DirectLink Appliance and Furniture is your one-stop shop for all your home needs. Don't wait. Shop DirectLink Appliance and Furniture today.
Montpelier now finds themselves down a couple of scores at 14-0. Baker to Sanchez on that touchdown pass covering 18 yards and able to cash in on the Leppelmeyer INT. Mike Bumb.
Yeah, and again, they did it with a combination of on the ground and through the air. We said Maddox Baker's look sharp, mostly intermediate kind of routes or screen plays, and then Sanchez, for example, on that time, busting it for a 10, 12-yard gain. They did throw the deep ball that time that Scotty Cronch just simply dropped, but a combination of running and passing that time put together a real good drive for the Dogs.
So the run and kick by Eldon, who's 2 for 2 on extra points. It'll be covered up by one of the Montpelier up men, Carter Meek, near the 30-yard line, and now the Locos needing something positive here to happen. I mean, they've had a 17-play drive tonight that came away with no points. They had a first and goal at the Edgerton 10. So they were effectively able to play some pretty good keep away in this first half. But, you need points. And Edgerton's defense stiffened, did a great job when they needed to. The ultimate bend but do not break, and overcame some big penalties as well. And now Montpelier will have their fourth possession of the night, I beg your pardon, a 1st and 10 at their own 29.
And good news, Jackson Staler for Montpelier, we stand corrected, Andy, is back in the game.
Good to see. Firing far side, pass is caught by Staler. They go right to him, short gain of about 4 on the play. Walk up brings him down, and it'll be 2nd down and 6.
He's limping through it there, but a tough kid, doing the best he can, so must not be too serious, but always good to see a kid. You never want a kid to play if he's injured, but you always like to see him gut it out when, you're hurt a little bit, and you just kind of find a way to keep going. So good to see with Jackson Staler.
Picked up 3. It'll be 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 7 at their own 32. 5 wide, 3 to the right, 2 receivers to the left on this 2nd down and 7. 5 minutes gone by in the second quarter. 14-0 Edgerton. Sharps under late pressure coming from Walkup. He got rid of it. But a hurry by Walkup, who has been applying heat all game, and it'll be 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, delayed blitz that time by Walkup. Montpelier just didn't pick it up. Sharps held on to the ball a little bit too long. The official was going to throw intentional grounding, but he did not, wisely so, because there was Wesley Hartsock was in the area that time.
So it will be 3rd down and 7, Montpelier at their own 32.
The problem with the spread offense is if you're not completing passes, what, Andy? You're throwing in completions and the clock stops. So you're giving a lot more time to the offensive team to have the ball. If you're not making completions.
Another blitz and a throw to the far side to Cooley, who found a little running room, but not going to be enough for the 1st down. Needed 7, got about 5, and now what will Andy Robinson do here? He's already gone for it once on his side of the field, and he's staring down a 4th and 2.
I think he's going to go for it here, Andy, and I think it's the wise decision here. You're still in the game. You still got a chance to win.
So 4th and 2 at their own 37. Line to gain that's needed is the 39-yard line. Sharps under center here with 2 running backs. Now one will go in motion. Are they going to snap it? Some movement, and now I think we're going to get a false start against Montpelier, and that'll make the decision even, I think, easier now for Andy Robinson. He won't go for it, I would assume, on 4th and 7.
Yeah, it's the right call. The right tackle flinched a little bit there for Montpelier.
They were going to try to draw him maybe offsides.
I think so.
So now Sharps will stay in the game, but as a punter. 4th and 7 back at the 32-yard line. Going back for Edgerton will be Krantz, waiting on this kick at about his 38-yard line. This will be the it'll be a second official punt. There was a roughing the punter that Montpelier ended up taking over after Edgerton roughed Sharps on his first kick.
Scotty Krantz is very dangerous back there as a return man.
And there's the punt that, coming off the edge, almost got that one. Krantz on about 3 hops decides to back away. It'll roll dead at the 30-yard line. 38 yards on the punt, no return. Edgerton football with 5:42 to play here in this opening quarter of football. So it's 14-0 Edgerton. Baker with touchdown passes to Herman and Sanchez for the Edgerton points of the night. Montpelier has threatened. They had a 1st and goal on a 17-play drive, but no points to show for it. So 1st and 10 now, Edgerton moving left to right, hash mark far side. Line of scrimmage is the 30. 3 wide receivers come to the right. Walk up is the only running back in the backfield. Play clock, still a lot of time on it at 20. They'll roll out. Baker to the near side, picks up a walk-up block, throws to Herman, who makes the grab at the 23. He's at the 25, steps out of a couple tackles, still on his feet, 35, 40, and all the way out, wrestled down near midfield. Wesley Hartsock slams into the turf at the 49-yard line, but that's a gain of 19 on that pass play.
All effort that time by Scotty Krantz. Montpelier did a nice job. Excuse me. So was that Herman?
Yes.
Yeah, all effort that time by Corey Herman. Montpelier had him stopped, and he just kept churning his legs and got 12 yards.
2-by-2 look. Edgerton quickly snapping the football. Little in route that is caught by Sanchez. He's at the 40 and is going to be brought down at the 37-yard line. 14 on the pitch and catch to Kellen Sanchez.
Hurry up offense this time by Edgerton, trying to get maybe some tempo going and get Montpelier back on their heels.
5 and change to play in the half. 14-0 Bulldogs, and a Montpelier timeout just before the snap. 5:09 exactly to play in this first half of football. 14-0 Edgerton, seemingly on the move again when we come back.
I'm Paul Rohrig Jr.
And I'm Sierra, and we are the new owners of Fackler Monument Company in Montpelier, Ohio.
It's fair season, and we will have a booth at the Williams County Fair this year. Come out and see our selection of styles and colors, and save 10% off all memorials, and receive a free pair of metal craft vases with the purchase of an upright memorial. We're continuing the family tradition, and as a third-generation family business, the Rohrig family makes it easy to pick out just the right memorial.
The Fackler Monument Company of Montpelier, Ohio, serving families since 1924.
I guess. 5:09 left in this first half of football. Andy Robinson spending his second time out of the half. Maybe that undermanned unit getting a little gassed here late in the first half with Edgerton going tempo.
Yeah, I think so. That's exactly what he was doing. Montpelier just kind of needed to readjust a little bit there. Nice move by Brody Flagel to just try to get something going there. It's been sloppy play by Edgerton, and he thought maybe a little bit of tempo could get Montpelier on its heels, and I think he was right.
1st and 10 Edgerton at the Montpelier 37. Sanchez comes in motion. They fake the jet sweep to him, and now they are still looking to go down the field. They want Krantz, and Krantz can't bring it in one-handed. He had his man Sharps beat. Baker also had to elude a tackle, a sack, and we have a penalty marker down. We're going to get a face mask penalty. He's already indicated a 5-yarder, and it's going against Montpelier.
Yeah.
And it was on the Baker attempted sack.
It was, and great job by Baker of stepping up into the pressure and delivering a strike to Scotty Krantz. Scotty Krantz got to catch that ball. That's the second one he's dropped. That was a touchdown, too. But they're going to get a penalty on Montpelier, I think, for hands to the face.
So it will be marked off. It's the 5-yard variety was indicated quickly. So 1st and 5 for Edgerton at the 32 now of Montpelier. 5 minutes to go. We're in the first half. 14-0 Edgerton, looking to add to their total before the intermission. 2-by-2 look with the wide receivers. Walk up the running back on 1st down and 5. Baker gives to Walk up, running right side, 30, 25. Lowers another boom, still on his feet before thrown to the turf by Hartsock at the 14-yard line. That'll be 18 on the run.
Edgerton doing hurry up again.
By the way, Eden 28, Hicksville nothing. On their way, Eden is to a 3-0 start. They're not at halftime yet in that one. And they've been dominant in their last 2 games.
They sure have.
4:46 and rolling. Two receivers both ways. Krantz goes in motion. Walk up, big hole in the middle, 15, or at the, if it was the 14, they had him spotted at the 9 on the scoreboard. That run started on the 14, and he runs to the 10, so he gets 4 yards on that attempt.
Big hole that time by the offensive line for Edgerton, but it was a good job by Griff Cooley closing down and making a play.
2nd down and 6 at the 10, and again, hurry to the line of scrimmage. Baker wants to throw the fade route towards the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown. It's Carter Gibson on the grab. Now the officials are going to confer. Hold on just a second. Did he get the foot down?
He got the foot down. That was a big-time catch there.
Touchdown, Carter Gibson.
Yeah.
Baker to Gibson. 10 yards on the scoring strike.
Really good grab there by Carter Gibson in the corner of the end zone. High-pointed it just enough to hit the back of the pylon for the touchdown.
Caps off a 6-play, 70-yard drive.
Good job by the officials getting together to make sure they both saw the same thing, but I think it was the right call.
Parker Eldon on for his 3rd extra point attempt out of the hold of Corey Herman. And Edgerton, after a close first quarter, a couple of scores here in the second, breathing room, working our way toward intermission. We're going to get a snap infraction was if I read lips correctly, snap infraction on the center. So that's a penalty on Edgerton. It'll be a little bit deeper extra point try now.
Now, Parker Eldon is a kid that spent a lot of time kicking, went to some kicking camps this offseason. The Edgerton coaching staff's really high on him, so I think this is something they certainly believe that he can handle with the yards back here on the extra point.
Fairview a 13-6 lead over Bryan at halftime. Here's the Eldon extra point. That distance didn't mean anything because he drills his 3rd of the night. 21-0. Edgerton with the lead. 4:14 left till halftime. We'll be back in 30.
Your home is the one place where everything should be perfect, including your air. Stark's Plumbing and Heating Services helps you achieve the perfect air you deserve with reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products. Call Stark's Plumbing and Heating Services and see how soon you can get a Lennox home comfort system that'll help improve your health and your mood. It doesn't get any more perfect than that. Call us today at 1-800-329-4040 or visit us at starksphs.com.
Edgerton 21, Montpelier nothing. Still 4:14 to go here in this opening half of football.
Bulldogs also have 2 timeouts remaining. The Locomotives only 1.
Montpelier will be sending a pair of return men back deep. Looks like on the far side it is Carter Meek. I haven't seen who the near side returner is yet. Maybe Morales?
Yeah, Zeppelin Morales,
okay.
24.
I saw a partial number of 4, but wasn't sure. So Morales and Meek are deep. Eldon did boot it away. It appears as if Edgerton is on their way to 2-1. A lot of football left. Montpelier has some athletes and capabilities. Morales juggles it, scoops it up at the 19, 20, and he will be absolutely smoked by Jackson Flower at the 25-yard line, the 6-yard return. So 1st and 10 for the Locos. Can they get some points here before the intermission?
Well, that's the big thing. They're still in the game if Montpelier can put together a drive here with 4 minutes. Plenty of time. They have 1 timeout. If Montpelier can put the ball in the end zone this drive and go down by 2 scores, they're still theoretically in the game. Now, the way the flow is going and the dynamics of it right now, it appears that Edgerton is, on the cusp of something bigger. But we've seen this before. Momentum can change in a hurry. This is a big series for the Locomotives.
2 receivers both ways. Empty backfield actually 3 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to the left for Montpelier. So the empty look here for Sharps. 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And he juggled and lost the snap and now has to try to dive on it, but Edgerton says they have it. Yeah. And they do at the 21-yard line. Sharps just didn't look the snap completely in. And that'll be a 2nd turnover from Montpelier.
Yeah, and that just couldn't come at a worse time. You just said it. Sharps just took his eyes off it and hit him right in the face. And Edgerton now has got a chance here with 4 minutes with a short field on the 21-yard line of really blowing the doors off of this game.
Coverage tonight being brought to you by Yarger Flegel Investments. Yarger Flegel will partner with you on that investment journey. Phone Yarger Flegel at 419-298-2000. Call and speak with Tom, Lynn, or Shelley today. 1st and 10, Edgerton at the Montpelier 21, following the second turnover of the night on the Locos. Tight end to the left, receiver to the left and right. Walk up is in the backfield, and so is Sinclair. It's a play action, and now a step up and throw by Baker. Caught far side. Krantz steps away from a tackle and strolls into the end zone as he will collect his 4th touchdown pass of the night. Baker to Krantz. This time it's the 4th different Bulldog to catch one. And that covers 21 yards on that TD pass. And it's 27-0. So immediately, Foz, they cash in on the fumble.
Throwing the ball a little bit more than what we anticipated this game. Usually more of a ground and pound type of offense Edgerton is, and they let Baker kind of throw the ball a little bit today. He's been look good. He's been steady.
New score on the Andres O'Neill and Lowe scoreboard. Edgerton 28 and Montpelier nothing. As we go to the break, we can tell you Paulding leads Delphus Jefferson in an old Northwest Conference game, 20-0 Panthers as they near halftime there. Back in just a moment to Edgerton.
John Dye and everyone at Strong Real Estate in Montpelier would like to wish all the athletes in tonight's game good luck. Located right in the heart of Montpelier, Ohio, Strong Real Estate Solutions is successfully helping people find that perfect home, building lot, or commercial property. Strong Real Estate Associates are available to provide you with full service in all your real estate needs. Contact John Dye today at Strong Real Estate Solutions in Montpelier, Ohio.
Welcome back here to Stauffer Field in Edgerton. It is 28-0 Edgerton with the lead. 4 Maddox Baker TD passes, Mike Bumb, to 4 different Edgerton Bulldog receivers.
Been fantastic. As I said before the break, Edgerton is known to be more of a physical team, running the ball with Joe Walkup. They've done a little bit about that, but the story of the night, offensively at least for Edgerton, is they're putting the ball in the air, and Maddox Baker has looked outstanding. 4 touchdown passes, 4 different wide receivers. Most of his balls have been catchable. There's been a couple drop touchdown passes. Maddox Baker so far has been the MVP.
You know, and I like what Brody Flegel has done in bringing him along from last year to this year. This isn't a kid that's blessed with the prototypical size and the rocket arm. So you know what? He has some physical capabilities and athletic abilities, and they play to his strengths and have tailored that offense now to him and what they have around him.
Perfectly said. Every play call that they make, they don't drop him back very often. I'm not saying they never do, but it's usually sprint out where he can get a window where he can see with his limitations with his height. Play action plays. They also run him because he's very fast and shifty. So nice job by Coach Flegel of adjusting or tweaking his offense to meet the strengths of his quarterback. And Maddox Baker is playing really good football right now.
Touchback, 1st and 10. The Montpelier will have it at their own 20-yard line. Now down in a 28-0 hole with 3:57 left in the half. 3 receivers, actually be a 4 wide receiver look to the right, 1 receiver left. So the empty backfield, 3 down linemen for Edgerton now, as they'll put 8 into coverage. Here's the throw to the far side, and Staylor is pounded as he attempts to make the catch. It's incomplete. Braden Leppelmeyer, not only a ball hawk, but good skills on making plays on the football.
Boy, he sure does. He brings the hammer, too. A good tackler and a good, like you said, has good ball skills.
2nd and 10 now.
And with 5 interceptions this year, you see why he can do that.
2nd down and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Again, we'll be here next week for Antwerp Edgerton. It's the opening week for the GMC. 2 weeks from tonight, it will be Whiteford at Eden. Bombers are going to be unbeaten still after tonight. I think they go to Margaretta next week. Little curl route is going to be caught far side by Carter Meek. He'll cross the 25 to about the 27-yard line. A trio of dogs in the neighborhood led by Walkup and Sinclair. It's now 35-0 Eden. So for a second straight week, they're going to have a fast second half. Eden will. It'll be a running clock game.
Next week's Whiteford?
2 weeks from tonight.
2 weeks, yeah. Well, it won't be a running clock that game. Whiteford's tough. That, I think, is the big question mark on Eden's schedule. I think they're a 9-1, 10-0 possibly team, but Whiteford, I think, stands in the way. How about you, Ange?
Maybe Ottawa Hills. Don't forget Ottawa Hills
not
late.
bad either.
5 wide look. They picked up 4, so it'll be third down and 6. Late pressure coming. Sharps throws. It's intercepted. Picked off far side. It's Leppelmeyer again. He got it at the 40. He returns it all the way to the 20. It's his 2nd of the game and his 6th of the season.
Yeah. A lot of pressure that time on Hayden Sharps, and he just couldn't follow through with the ball. Didn't get a good visual with all the bodies, and he took a hit at the end there. And Leppelmeyer, the ball hawk, 6 interceptions of the year, makes Montpelier pay. And now, with 3 minutes left, if Edgerton would happen to score right here, that means we're playing a continuous clock in the second half, most likely.
It'll be a 1st and 10 after the 19-yard return by Braden Leppelmeyer. He brought it all the way to the Montpelier 21-yard line. Exactly 3 minutes left in the half. 28-0 Edgerton. 2-by-2 look with Walkup in the backfield. Baker gets the snap, gives to Walkup. Little stutter step move in the hole. Lunges for 5, make it 6 to the 15-yard line, wrapped up by Cooley and Staler. And it'll be 2nd down and 4. And they're going to hurry and get to the ball. 2nd down and 4, Edgerton at the Montpelier 15. This was a 7-0 game at the end of 1. At least a 21-point second quarter, and Edgerton hopes for more. And a big hole for Walkup as he moves his way down to the 5-yard line on 2nd down and 4. He collects 10, and it'll be 1st down and goal. Big hole, that offensive line doing its job up front. Right back on the ball on 1st and goal at the 5. Walkup gets it again. Walkup off the right side. Foot race, and he wins easily into the end zone. A diving stab made by Jackson Staler. But Walkup gets the first rushing touchdown of the night, this one from 5 yards out.
Almost got the idea Brody Flagel was going to make sure Walkup got a touchdown there. Gave him the ball 5 times in a row. And then, of course, Joe Walkup finishes.
And now the extra point attempt. The hold will be Herman. The spot, the kick is on the way, and it is good. 35-0 is our score. Montpelier trailing Edgerton here in this one. Want to again thank the Edgerton School District, Superintendent Ben Wilhelm. Want to thank the Montpelier schools because they were aware of it too. I know a district-wide email ran out. For those that don't know, my full-time gig is as the director of the United Way of Williams County. We are in the middle of our campaign kickoff event tonight. We have people down by the concession stand for free will donations, or if you want to buy. Big Taylor Swift fan?
Oh, yeah.
Taylor Swift. We have raffle tickets.
How can you not be a Swiftie?
I know. I'm with you 100%. Taylor Swift tickets. We have tickets, two tickets to the November 3rd show in Indianapolis. We have them. We're selling raffle tickets for a chance to get them, with all the money helping to go towards our 25-plus agencies that are helped from the United Way of Williams County. I just wanted to publicly thank our sponsors and the 2 schools who get such great support from the school systems here in Williams County, and Montpelier and Edgerton are second to none. And Ben Wilhelm didn't bat an eye when I said, hey, we want to hold our campaign kickoff and get some information out to people about what we do and maybe raise a little money on our kickoff night. And he said, absolutely, what can Edgerton do to help? So I want to thank him while I have the microphone here in front of me. And we have a 35-0 Edgerton lead. And again, if you missed our talk about it in the beginning of the night, Edgerton also has a brand new football press box that they can boast about and should brag about, because this is a beauty and made possible by the Edgerton Area Foundation.
Man, is it big, and there's a lot of space. We've got a lot of rooms, and it has both heating and air conditioning in here, so state of the art.
It'll be juggled and caught near side by Lyons at the 10. He's at the 20, and now will crumble down at about the 22-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10 there. Halftime, PH is on the board. Grove still up 21-7. Columbus Grove leading Patrick Henry. Ben Murray will be along with our scoreboard update coming up here in 2 minutes and 12 seconds. And now we have an injured Montpelier player down that has taken us to a timeout. We'll take a short timeout as well, and we'll come back with more in just a moment. 35-0, Edgerton in command over Montpelier.
Now that summer is in full swing, outdoor projects are always happening, and everyone needs more tools for those projects. Donaldson's Ace Hardware has the tools and accessories you need to get the job done. Check out their huge selection of Milwaukee products, from circular saws and jigsaws to impact drivers, all at fantastic prices, and any hand tools you need. Then clean it all up with the Craftsman 6 or 12-gallon shop vac. It's all at Donaldson's Ace Hardware on North Union Street in Bryan. Ace, the helpful place.
Sorry.
35-0 our score here at the half. Edgerton on their way to 2-1. This was a veteran team, too. I want to spend some time talking about Edgerton. We're not sure who the loco is down. They lost 5 total starters from last year, 2 on offense, 3 on defense. 10 guys back on offense that had starting experience and 8 back on defense with starting experience. And they were 2-8 for a variety. I mean, you're not 2-8 for any one reason. You're 2-8 for multiple reasons. But they have addressed the biggest reasons, and they have gotten another year with these players up front on the line and these players in the skill positions. And we've already talked about what Brody's doing in his play calling as well. And they just look like a different football team. And I know we're only in week 3, but it looks like a team that can compete in the GMC, and I think we both agree that the two teams, I mean, everybody you got to take very seriously and prepare for, and there's no off nights, and pick your cliche, whatever it might be. But I think it's Fairview and Tenora who are the two teams that everybody is talking most about. And I feel like that this is an Edgerton team, if they stay healthy, can compete and have shots at winning those games.
Agree. And you're exactly right. Those are probably the top 2 teams that are picked to win the conference, but you know, you get a guy like Joel Walkup and this offensive line that returned 4 of 5 starters last year, and really almost 5 of 5, because the 6th player who maybe didn't start for the Bulldogs played a lot last year. So they had a veteran offensive line. They are physical. And I'll tell you what, they really match up good against teams that throw the football. So against a Fairview who's throwing the ball a lot, I love the secondary. I think it's the strength of Edgerton with Sanchez and Leplemeyer and Krantz and Herman. All of them can run. All of them have St. Clair. All of them have good ball skills. And it's going to be tough to throw the ball against them.
Well, it was Lyons, the injured player, had to be helped off the field. Montpelier will go 2 receivers both ways with 1 running back on a 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line. And the inside give will go to Morales. Morales will break free for about 6 or 7. Give him 7 on the play out to the 30-yard line. Walkup brought him down there, and it'll be 2nd and short.
Only a freshman, Morales. Nice job hitting the hole. Really like the right tackle, Ryan Riggenbaugh. The coaches rave about him. He's a freshman. You may not hear much about him this year, but I'm telling you, down the road, he's got good size, he's got good football IQ, and he's very physical. And you can see that time on that pulling block, only a freshman. Keep an eye out for Ryan Riggenbaugh down the road.
2 receivers both ways again on this 2nd and 3 at the 30. Morales will get another carry. Morales running into the arms of Carter Gibson and Orlando Puente. And they make the stop to the 30, so no gain, and it'll be 3rd and 3. And Andy Robinson in this offense, they've had some kids go in and out of the lineup. They're already a short roster as well. We're coming down on a minute to play. And Edgerton not taking any timeouts either. So it looks like both teams appear to be content to get to half.
I think so. And he also wants to let his quarterback kind of chill out a little bit. Sharps had the last 2 possessions, had turnovers with the fumble and the interception, and maybe just have him reset a little bit going into the halftime. Sharps is a very good football player. Had some misfortune those last 2 series. Sometimes you just need to get in the locker room and readjust.
45 seconds left. Man goes in motion to the far side. Little quick pop to Carter Meek, and Meek will run into the waiting arms of Joel Walkup. That's a loss of 1 on the play, and it'll be 4th down coming up. And they do not have to run this next play. The game clock is ahead of the play clock, and if neither team elects to call a timeout, this is what the half is going to end on. A half that was close in the first quarter. It was only 7-0. Montpelier had a 17-play drive that got no points. But then Edgerton, a 28-0 second quarter. So that is what is going to be on tap. We'll have a running clock to begin the second half with Edgerton on top, 35-0 as we go to the locker room. Bulldogs leading Montpelier 35-zip. This is high school football coverage on V-Rock Sports.
Camco Industries, with facilities located in West Unity, Ohio and Morenci, Michigan, has openings on all 3 shifts for production and assembly operators. We manufacture interior plastic products for the automotive industry. As an operator, you will be required to visually inspect, trim, assemble, and pack parts, as well as label containers. You must be able to pass an entry-level test and a substance abuse test. Camco also has openings for shipping associates, material handlers, and production leads. Camco offers a complete benefit package. If you would like to join our team, please complete an application online at www.kumi-na.com or in person at Camco, 1001 East Jackson Street, West Unity, Ohio, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. All rehires will be considered for employment.
Newcomers Schaefer, Spangler, and Breininger have served Northwest Ohio for over 120 years. They provide a full range of legal services, including real estate transactions, estate planning and trust administration, elder law, family law, business planning and litigation, personal injury, workers' comp, criminal and traffic defense, and more. Newcomers Schaefer, Spangler, and Breininger also supports the athletes in schools in Northwest Ohio and wish them the best of luck in this game. Bryan Homebuyers. The real estate market is shifting, and that means you can find some better deals. For instance, Misty King of Amerimaid Realty has sweetened the deal on the incredible home located at 104 Fountain Grove Drive in Bryan, with 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a usable basement, 2-car garage with office and workshop space, large yard, and over 2,200 square feet of living space. This one is a steal at $199,900. Want to check it out for yourself? Call Misty King at 419-633-4997 today. That's 419-633-4997. Misty King of Amerimaid Realty, your hometown real estate pro. Are you ready to tackle your next projects with the best equipment in town? Then look no further than Black Swamp Equipment, serving Bryan, Archbold, and Defiance. Right now, we have incredible deals on Steel chainsaws. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a weekend warrior, Steel has you covered. And that's not all. Need to chip or split that wood? We've got you covered with wood chipper and wood splitter rentals too. But wait, there's more. Our Milwaukee tool sale is happening now. Upgrade your toolkit with top quality Milwaukee tools at unbeatable prices. Stop in or give us a call to discover everything that's on sale. Black Swamp Equipment. Locations in Bryan, Archbold, and Defiance.
Welcome back out here to Stauffer Field in Edgerton, where it's all Bulldogs up 35-0 on Montpelier. Let's recap the scoring. It's Maddox Baker with 4 touchdown passes to 4 different receivers, plus a Joel Walkup rushing touchdown. It is Baker to Corey Herman to start the scoring, 5-yard TD pass. That covered a 8-play, 35-yard drive, and it was 7-0 Edgerton. Then it stayed that way, and in between all of that, Montpelier had a 17-play drive that was a good part them, but also a good part Edgerton with penalties, keeping that drive alive, including a roughing the punter penalty, but Montpelier could not cash in. Eventually, Edgerton would get it back early second quarter. They would go 5 plays, 61 yards. It would be Maddox Baker to Kellen Sanchez for an 18-yard TD pass, and it was 14-0 Bulldogs. Following a Montpelier punt, Edgerton would take over at their own 30, need 6 plays to go 70 yards. Baker to Carter Gibson this time, 10-yard TD pass, and it was 21-0. Then Montpelier would go back-to-back possessions with turnovers. First, a fumble by Sharps, and Edgerton would take over at the Montpelier 21. It would only be a 1-play drive. Baker would find Scotty Krantz for a 21-yard TD pass to make it 28-0. Then a Sharps INT, a return by Leppelmeyer, which, by the way, was his 2nd INT of the night, his 6th of the season. He would return it to the 21 of Montpelier. 3 plays later, Joel Walkup would run it in from 5 yards out, and it was 35-0 Edgerton, and that's where we stand at the half. Our halftime show is being brought to you by the Main Stops of Northwest Ohio. We're going to take a quick break. Mike Bumb with the numbers from the first half when we return.
Veland Chase wishes local high school sports teams a successful season. As one of the leading brass suppliers in the United States, Veland Chase manufactures brass rods, forgings, ingots, and water armor plumbing fittings at the 2 plants located in Holiday City. To learn more about products and job opportunities, visit brassjobs.com. Chase a brighter future with Veland Chase.
Are you looking for a mechanic that really knows how to repair both foreign and domestic vehicles? Let me recommend Dave Brown at Jason Dietz Customs and Collisions. Dave has spent the last 25 years diagnosing and repairing all makes and models of vehicles in Northwest Ohio. And he's now teamed up with Jason Dietz on State Route 6 just east of Edgerton.
So if you're looking for a mechanic that can fix the problem that your last mechanic couldn't, think of Dave Brown at Jason Dietz Customs and Collisions.
Your friends at your neighborhood Eden Farmers Co-op Country Store would like to invite you to stop in at the Eden, Montpelier, and Edgerton stores to check out their complete line of pet supplies, animal feed, and outdoor products. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is ready to answer all of your questions concerning their complete line of Kalmbach, Land O'Lakes, and much, much more. For your convenience, your purchase can be carried to your vehicle by one of their employees. Be sure to stop by soon and see them at your hometown country store, the Eden Farmers Co-op.
Andy Brigle, Mike Bumb, Foz, let's take a look at those first half statistics as you have them.
First for the Locomotives, Hayden Sharps, 10 for 25 for 79 yards, catching the football. Griff Cooley had 5 catches for the Locomotives. He led the way with 30 yards. Jackson Steeler had 2 catches for 5 yards. Carter Meek, 2 catches for 5 yards. And running the football for the Locomotives, Hayden Sharps, 4 carries for 12 yards. Zeppelin Morales carried the ball twice, only a freshman, for 7 yards. And Carter Meek carried the ball 1 time for -1 yards. For the Edgerton Bulldogs, a little different story. Maddox Baker having a great game. He's got 4 touchdown passes to 4 different wide receivers. Those 4 wide receivers included Herman, Sanchez, Krantz, and Gibson with a great catch in the back of the end zone. He's 11 for 14 for 133 yards, and that has been, Andy, kind of the staple of Maddox Baker this whole season. Height of efficiency, 11 for 14, 133 yards. No turnovers. Running the football, guess what? Joel Walkup, 14 carries today already for 125 yards running the football. And catching for the receiving yards for the Edgerton Bulldogs, leading the way with 5 catches, was Mr. Sanchez, and he had 5 catches, for 65 yards. Corey Herman had 3 catches for 29 yards, and Scotty Krantz had 2 catches for 24 yards. 35-0 at this point. Edgerton Bulldogs with a commanding lead. We're going to come out in the second half, and it will be a continuous clock situation. I think it's been equally as impressive as the running game as Edgerton has. They've kind of leaned on the passing game today and really been kind of 50-50 in their offensive approach.
Yep, I would agree. 35-0 our score here. Edgerton with the lead. More on our main stops of Northwest Ohio halftime show as we check in back in studio on some score updates around the area, and then we'll come back to Edgerton in just a bit.
The more your life changes, the more your insurance needs change. See Danielle Van Atta of Danielle Van Atta Agency today. She can conduct a free personal insurance review to help you determine how much and what type of coverage is right for you, with no costly gaps or overlaps. Interested? Phone Danielle Van Atta today at 419-636-0408.
Edgerton Forge, located on US 6 just outside of Edgerton, are proud supporters of Edgerton Bulldog athletes. Looking for a new career? Apply online at edgertonforge.com/careers or stop in and see them for an application and tour the facility at 257 East Morrison Street in Edgerton, Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Join them as they forge into the future. Good luck and play tough tonight. Go Bulldogs!
Michael Jordan once said, some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen, and others make it happen. The Edgerton Bulldogs want it, wish for it, and make it happen. The Edgerton Athletic Boosters want to thank all of the Edgerton athletes for their hard work and dedication and want to wish the athletes and coaches good luck. So from the Edgerton Athletic Boosters, go get 'em Bulldogs. We're behind you all of the way. Good luck to all the Edgerton athletes.
With a check of your halftime Week 3 high school football scores live from the B-Rock studios, brought to you by the main stops of Northwest Ohio. The best stop is a main stop. I'm Ben Murray reporting. From Stauffer Field in Edgerton with our own Andy Brigle and Mike Bumb in our broadcast game this evening, Edgerton is bombing Montpelier 35-0. In our sister station broadcast on the Q96.5 FM with Dave Bropston, Fairview is bombing Bryan at half 13-6. Eden is bombing Hicksville 42-0. Other games to pass along to you at half. Columbus Grove is bombing Patrick Henry 21-7. Eastwood over Wauseon 35-0. Evergreen over Rossford 35-0. I'm sorry. It is Eastwood over Wauseon 35-0. Evergreen over Rossford 24-6. Napoleon is bombing Northview 47-0. Other scores to pass along to you this evening at half. Tenora is over Archbald 14-3. Liberty Center all over Otsego 21-0. At halftime, Delta is over Lake 17-7. Paulding is bombing Delphus Jefferson 20-0 at half. Also at halftime, Wayne Trace is over Crestview 17-8. Checking the WBL scores at half. Defiance is over St. Mary's 8-7. Wapakoneta is bombing Ottawa Glandorf 42-7. And Bath is bombing Shawnee 21-10. This has been a check of your halftime Week 3 high school football scores, brought to you by the main stops of Northwest Ohio. The best stop is a main stop in Northwest Ohio. I will send it out to Andy and Mike back to Stauffer Field in Edgerton after these messages. For B-Rock Sports, I'm Ben Murray reporting. Stay with us.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call your State Farm agent, Jody Herman, in downtown Archbold today.
Downtown Bryan, Ohio has become quite the shopping destination in the past few years, thanks in part to Elian's Boutique, the Maddox Men's Emporium, and Faith and Grace Baby Boutique. These incredible stores offer something for everyone, featuring men's and women's apparel, newborn and kids apparel, maternity wear, specialty foods and drinks, barware, jewelry and accessories, giftable items, and much, much more. They're located on the east side of the square in downtown Bryan and open weekdays 10 to 6 and Saturdays 10 to 3. So come to downtown Bryan, Ohio and visit the Elian's family of stores for all your shopping needs.
Family is at the heart of everything we do. At Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, we understand that your family's needs evolve over time, and we're here to support you through every stage of your journey. Whether it's saving for your kids' education, upgrading to a larger home, or planning for retirement, we're here to help you prioritize what matters most. Join us at Midwest Community, and let's build a stronger financial future for your family. Visit us online at midwestcommunity.org to learn more today.
Good fight song.
Week number 3, good fight song, I love it. Week number 3, and it's 35-0 Edgerton with the lead. Unfortunately, well, no, I shouldn't say that. Well, yes, it is unfortunate. I was going to say all 3 weeks, but that's not the case for Montpelier. 2 of the 3 weeks at halftime, they were pretty much out of it. Last week it was a close game, but it was the second half where Woodmore ran away. But if you're Andy Robinson, you've got a low-numbered high school football team roster anyways. You got a lot of youth on that roster. You've had a couple of kids that are dinged up and playing through, and you're down 35-0 at the intermission. What's your message at halftime if you're Andy Robinson right now?
Well, there's not really many things you can solve. Again, the kids are trying hard, so effort is there, and it's not about it. There's no reason to go out and yell and scream, and Coach Robinson and Coach Branshaw are not going to do that. You want to stay positive. You come out, and like we said last week in the Antwerp-Eden game, try to focus on small little successes. Let's go out and let's get a first down, for example. Let's go out and let's get let's get them off the field in 3 plays from a defensive perspective. Those kind of things. Don't look at the clock, all right? Just kind of focus on 1 play at a time. Now, that's easier said than done, but really that's all you can do. And also you got to sell your kids on the bigger picture. We're coming. Mm-hmm. Give them reason to believe that they're going to have success down the road. There's games on our schedule, guys, that we're going to win. Let's keep continuing to improve. It may not be tonight, and you don't want to lie to kids because kids aren't stupid. All right, it may not be tonight, but we're going to work on things that we can control tonight, win some of those small little battles, and there's games in our schedule that we can win. And guess what? We're a young team that we're going to win in the future. Hang with me. Believe in what we're doing. This is the system we're going to run offensively and defensively, and let's simply get better at it.
Now, I want to ask you about Brody Flagel. He's certainly not a coach that's ever going to run up a score, so take that out of the equation. You have bigger goals and dreams for this season because you've seen now through the first 3 weeks what you are capable of, right? So you don't want any injury. You want to avoid any big injury in a game where it's over at the intermission. So what is your plan of attack if you're Brody Flagel finishing this game with an eye to the GMC, which starts next week?
Well, a couple things here if you give me some time to answer. It was kind of a weird dynamic, this game. Edgerton didn't play very well the first quarter. So, again, you've got to improve if you're Edgerton every single week. And so I think you need to let your starters play at least a couple series, maybe the whole third quarter, for the reasons I said. You didn't play very well. I know the score is 35-0, but that was because of a couple turnovers by Montpelier and late scores by Edgerton. So you want to give them some time to play. Remember, you're responsible for your own team, not the other team. That's number one. Number two, Edgerton doesn't have a JV team. So that could factor into, conversely, what I said, of wanting to get some kids in a little bit earlier so that they're getting some playing time and development. So which way will he go? Will he go that I'm going to keep my guys in a little longer because we didn't play very well in the first quarter? Or am I going to get them out knowing I don't have a JV game tomorrow and I want to get everybody to play? And that'll be interesting. My opinion, let your starters, or at least your kids that are playing your ones or twos, that third quarter, and then put in your young kids the whole fourth quarter.
You know, with Montpelier, you normally would be talking about a team that when you're down this much that you want to see some of your other kids play, but a lot of twos are playing now because of injuries already and your low numbers. So if you're Montpelier, I mean, you're getting a look at the present and the future all wrapped into one.
You are. And again, like I said, sell your kids on a dream. And that dream can be a reality because they've got good numbers in the junior high. They've got good numbers in their freshman class. The numbers on the roster next year will be in the mid-30s, if not mid-40s, in that kind of a range. So you're going to have strength in numbers coming through. So, again, you're up against a buzzsaw tonight, a team that's just better than you, but you're going to have success in the future. You just got to hang with what we're doing.
And a team that went into the postseason last year, right? So the standard has been set under Andy Robinson that this kind of a year this year is going to be the exception and last year is going to be more the rule.
Absolutely. So you have people on your roster, too, that have tasted success at the highest level. So, as you said, it was just a year ago, Montpelier's winning big games and going to the playoffs. So they know how to win. Just the depth is an issue. It is. You know, you've got 18 healthy kids right now on your roster. Like you said, a couple kids, I don't know how they're going to be. They got dinged up tonight. And there's only so much you can do. It's a good coaching staff that's doing all the right things. Not going to turn out the way that they wanted tonight, but I think you got to. If you as a staff can keep them playing hard, and I think Montpelier's played hard tonight, then you're doing your job, and good things are going to happen for those kids down the road.
35-0 our score at the intermission. It's Edgerton with the lead. We'll step aside more from our Main Stops halftime show when we come back.
I'm Paul Rohrig Jr.
And I'm Sierra, and we are the new owners of Fackler Monument Company in Montpelier, Ohio.
It's fair season, and we will have a booth at the Williams County Fair this year. Come out and see our selection of styles and colors, and save 10% off all memorials and receive a free pair of metal craft vases with the purchase of an upright memorial. We're continuing the family tradition, and as a third-generation family business, the Rohrig family makes it easy to pick out just the right memorial. We invite you to visit us as a part of your pre-planning. By talking to us now, there's no stress or high pressure, just a friendly conversation to get you started. Our specialty is creating custom memorials with a variety of colors, shapes, and sizes. You can go online to facklermonument.com to see what we have to offer. Come see us at the Williams County Fair. Save 10% off all memorials and get free vases with purchase of an upright memorial.
Continuing the family tradition, the Fackler Monument Company of Montpelier, Ohio, serving families since 1924.
John Dye and everyone at Strong Real Estate in Montpelier would like to wish all the athletes in tonight's game good luck. Located right in the heart of Montpelier, Ohio, Strong Real Estate Solutions is successfully helping people find that perfect home, building lot, or commercial property. Strong Real Estate Associates are available to provide you with full service in all your real estate needs. Contact John Dye today at Strong Real Estate Solutions in Montpelier, Ohio.
Coverage tonight also being brought to you by Yarger Flegel Investments of Edgerton, Ohio. Experience the difference with Yarger Flegel Investments. Phone and talk with Tom, Lynn, or Shelley to schedule your free consultation today. That's Yarger Flegel Investments, 419-298-2000. Next week, Foz and I will bring us right back here to Edgerton, Ohio. GMC opening night, it will be Antwerp at Edgerton here on B-Rock Sports. 2 weeks from tonight, it is Whiteford, Michigan at Eden. 3 weeks from tonight, as we close out September, 3 weeks from tonight, the TAC rivalry of Eden and Montpelier, and that will finish things out there. And then we get into the month of October, and we have a potential Edgerton Fairview game that we're doing that is looming. That should be a fascinating game, and work our way deep into the schedule. We got potentially an Eden Ottawa Hills game for the TAC title in Week 10. Maybe it's Edgerton Tenora. We're just not sure on where we would be at the end of the season, but we will have a schedule that will be, hopefully, as we go along and the haves and the have-nots sort themselves out, that we will find some pretty good matchups as the year goes on.
Yeah, and it remains to be seen. Again, I like this GMC race because I think there's three teams that, like you said, Fairview, Tenora, and Edgerton. Wayne Trace I haven't got a beat on yet, to be honest.
I would agree with that. They're down 17-8 tonight, I think, too, but a good Crestview team.
So maybe they'll factor into it.
Paulding.
Paulding.
Throw them into.
How did I forget that?
They're a dark horse. But maybe not even a dark horse.
But I think, the little bit of data that we have, Andy, and admittedly we haven't seen those teams, but what we've heard and collected the data that we have, all of them good enough to beat each other on any given night. Fair?
I think that's fair.
So, I look at
because none of them are dominant.
They're not, and I look at the NWL. I don't think anybody's beaten Liberty Center. Market,
No.
They're going to win. They're going to win the NWL. They're going to go undefeated. I don't feel that way so much in the GMC. TAC, if Ottawa Hills can't get Eden, I don't think anybody can. So I think that's.
I don't know much about Northwood this year. Have you heard? I haven't done any research into Northwood.
Not the teams that Craig James has had in the past, but
wait a minute. You just called him the pony. You called Ken James. You called him
James.
Craig.
Did I? Pony, yeah, the SMU pony. No, not the teams that maybe he's had in the past, but. Obviously a very good team. I just don't think they have the firepower. Eden's very good. We watched them last week. I've seen them twice already.
So Whiteford and Ottawa Hills. If Eden, I don't know. Here's another thing. I shouldn't say don't know anything because it sounds like we don't know anything about high school football. But Margaretta will be a tough opponent because I think they're going to go. Eden's going to make that long bus trip to Margaretta, and they play a different schedule. So I think I'm going to throw them into the pot. So Margaretta, Whiteford, Ottawa Hills are the three teams left on Eden's schedule. I think that has a shot at Eden losing.
That's fair.
Coverage of your halftime show tonight brought to you by the Main Stops of Northwest Ohio. Remember, the best stop is Main Stop. Edgerton going to get the football first to start this second half. Again, a first half where Maddox Baker threw 4 TD passes to 4 different receivers, plus a rushing touchdown for Joel Walkup. And so, and again, if you're just tuning in, this is a running clock, second half. A little bit of the rule on the running clock for those that always kind of wonder when it stops. It's 35 plus is the rules, or 30 plus, I should say. 30 plus is the rule. The clock gets stopped for an official's timeout, for an injured player, a charge timeout, of course, at the end of a period. And then after the try for point, after a field goal, and following a safety. And I love how they throw at the end. It's also stopped after any unusual delay.
Yeah. Well, that could be a variety.
I know, but it's just so
you,
fun.
You could have a squirrel running around on the field. You got to stop it for that.
And then the clock starts again on the ready for play signal for the first play after the above situations that we just named there. By the way, Edgerton's schedule, here's the next 3 weeks. Home with Antwerp, we said we're doing that. Long bus trip to go to Wayne Trace, the team that we're still learning about. And then they host a very down Ayersville team this year. So those are the next 3 games for them. Montpelier, I think winnable games for them the next couple of weeks if they come out of this game relatively healthy with their key players intact. They go to Van Loo and they host Ridgemont in the next 2 games. So those are chances that Montpelier wins. Ready to start the second half. Montpelier kicking off for the first time tonight. It will be Wesley Hartsock to boom it away. Deep for Edgerton will be Caden Sinclair and Parker Eldon. And it's a little pooch kick that will be caught by one of the up men up near the 40-yard line. That will be Carter Gibson, who has a touchdown reception tonight, who fields it at his own 39. So happy to have you with us here for week 3 of the high school football season. It'll be Edgerton possession, and they do have the ones out there for at least. And one thing we know about being around running clocks enough, you almost figure that your maximum is 3 possessions. And sometimes you don't even get that. Sometimes it's 2 per team, depending on how things play out because of how quickly a game moves in the second half of the running clock, which, by the way, a wonderful rule enacted by the OHSAA for a night that is like this one, and of course Eden pounding Hicksville 42-0. I mean, it's just a great, sensible rule to have in play. The give is on the inside to Walkup. He runs into the arms of Gary Robinson. Robinson, a 6'2", 195-pound senior, and that'll be a run of about 4 on the play. It'll be second down and, well, they give him 3 at the 42, so second down and 7. Second and 7 from their own 42-yard line. They get their own 43-yard line. They officially said this drive started at the 40. I beg your pardon there. Second down and 7. 3 receivers right. Tight end to the left formation. Play action. Little bubble screen caught by Herman at the 40. Out to the 45. Stiff arms his way into Montpelier territory to the 49-yard line. He needed 7, collects 8, and will have a first down.
Again, the efficiency of Baker. Now 12 for 15 throwing the football.
I look at these stats, and I look at like the coaching career, and it's hard to believe Brody Flagle's in his 5th year as a head coach, and it's also tough for me to believe that he's 12 years gone as a graduate of Edgerton High School.
You're getting old, Angie.
First and no argument, my friend. 1st and 10 at the 49. The give is to Walkup on the inside. Runs away from 1. He's at the 45, gets downhill to the 40, and all the way down to about the 37-yard line. It's a 12-yard run for Joel Walkup and a first down. We're already down under 9.5 to go in the 3rd quarter of play on 3 snaps. Into Montpelier territory on this 1st and 10 at the Montpelier 37-yard line. Edgerton a win over Hilltop last week, loss on opening night to Eden. Montpelier losses to Antwerp and Woodmore. Baker has Walkup in the backfield. They'll flex the tight end out to the left, trips to the right on this 1st down and 10. Screen to Herman again. Herman at the 35. Herman inside the 30. He'll be brought down by Zeppelin Morales at the 30-yard line. He'll get 7 on the play, and it'll be second down and 3. Big thanks to Keith Merlett tonight, the athletic director, always taking care of us, brought us dinner here at the intermission, my good friend. And I can't let a broadcast go without saying hi to our #1 fan who's tuned in tonight, your mom.
Powerful voice you have.
Chip. We love Chip to death. I got a great picture that I got at my daughter's wedding of Chip and I. Look out backside coming for Baker. He'll dump it off. He wanted to get the home run ball downfield, but Montpelier took it away, so he had to go to the underneath route to Corey Herman, and he gets to the 26-yard line and gets the first down on a gain of 4.
Yeah, they were looking for the deep home run there, and not very often does Edgerton throw the ball deep. Most of their routes are what I would call horizontal routes, screens and little outs and bubble screens and jailbreaks. But that time they were looking to go deep, just didn't get it done.
By the way, Chip, tell Walt I said hi, too. Haven't seen Walt in a while. Wish him the best. Wish you guys the best. Love seeing you at my daughter's wedding. Inside handoff, walk up on a 1st and 10 at the 26. He somersaults his way forward for a couple of yards. Gary Robinson, Logan Pontius converge on the tackle. Very methodical Edgerton drive working here. So I really think the way that this is maneuvering, if it ends up in the end zone, I think this is it for most, if not all, of the ones, at least on the offensive side. We may see ones on the defense, but just the way that it's setting up here and the way they're moving the football pretty effectively here to start the half. 2-by-2 look, wide receiver wide, and walk-ups in the backfield on a 2nd down and 8 at the 24. Baker slings one to the near side. It'll be caught by Carter Gibson, and he will be roped in by Zeppelin Morales. That's a gain to the 20, and it'll be 3rd down and 4.
Zeppelin's had a lot of action over here on this side there as they're throwing screens his way. Done a pretty good job holding up, only a freshman. Again, you know, a difference between a 15 or 16-year-old body and an 18-year-old body, Andy, is a big, big deal.
3rd
especially
and
in the
4.
game of football.
I would agree 100%. 3rd and 4 at the 20, quarterback draw. We have markers stopping play. So it's a false start on Edgerton. So now it'll turn into a 3rd down and 9 back at the 25-yard line. 6.5 to play, 3rd quarter. If you're just tuning in, Edgerton 35, Montpelier nothing in a running clock game here in the 2nd half on B-Rock 100.9. So 3rd and 9, Edgerton at the 25 of Montpelier. Baker comes over to the sidelines to get the play call from Brody Flegel. They have just now winded the play clock, so he'll have lots of time. Weaver will be joined by Sinclair in a 2-receiver set to the left. Krantz and Gibson come to the right. Walk up as the lone setback on 3rd and 9 at the 25-yard line of Montpelier. They'll flip Walker up over to the left side halfback position. Krantz goes in motion. They'll roll out, little play action, the throw downfield. Baker's got a wide open diving Caden Sinclair, who's going to make the grab inside the 10-yard line at about the 7 or 8, and it'll be 1st and goal after a gain of 17.
Sinclair's first catch of the night, and a nice job of reaching out. Wasn't overly well thrown ball that time by Baker.
But a lot of cushion. He was wide open.
He was wide open, yeah.
1st and goal, Edgerton at the Montpelier 8. Hash mark, far side of the field. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Walk up the lone setback on this 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Walk up the give. Walk up to the 5. Sheds one. Throws another one aside and pounds his way into the end zone. Joe Walkup's 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. This one from 8 yards out. And it caps off an 9-play, 60-yard drive. Very efficient and methodical from Edgerton.
Yeah.
To make it 41-0.
Yeah, mixing their play calling has been mixed between run and pass. You wonder sometimes, is Coach Flegel doing that for opponents down the road? I mean, normally they don't throw the ball this much to give some opponents some reason to believe and sag off, reason to believe that they should. The threat of passing, because Maddox Baker's looked really good, but certainly Edgerton, we didn't expect them to throw the ball as much tonight.
42-0 Edgerton. Late 3rd as we go to this timeout.
Newcomers Schaefer, Spangler, and Brininger have served Northwest Ohio for over 120 years. They provide a full range of legal services, including real estate transactions, estate planning and trust administration, elder law, family law, business planning and litigation, personal injury, workers' comp, criminal and traffic defense, and more. Newcomers Schaefer, Spangler, and Brininger also supports the athletes in schools in Northwest Ohio and wish them the best of luck in this game.
Welcome back to Edgerton. Bulldogs up 42-0 over Montpelier with 4:33 to play in this in this 3rd quarter of football. 7-0 game at the end of 1, and then a enormous 2nd half for Edgerton, cashing in on some Montpelier turnovers and kind of getting that laser focus in the 2nd quarter of this game tonight. Eldon are ready to kick it away. Tenora 14, Archibald 3, end of 3 in that GMC NWOAL matchup. One of the best in the GMC against traditionally one of the best of the best in the NWOAL.
Wait, Archibald lost a lot of seniors last year.
Boy, they did. In all phases. I mean, up front and skill guys.
You know, and again, Liberty Center, I think, is just, they beat Tenora. They could have put 100 on them. If that kind of shows you the difference, I think, between the top-tier team and then the second-tier teams that we got in the NWAL.
End of 3, it's Fairview 20 and Bryan 6. Montpelier will have their first possession of this second half, first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line. 2 receivers bunched to the right, 2 receivers bunched to the left, 1 running back for Hayden Sharps. Man comes in motion to the near side. They'll toss it to Cooley, and Cooley, no running lane at all. Flower got upfield and made him pay the price. That's a loss of 5 on the play.
It's a great job by Jackson Flower, again, the leading tackler for the Bulldogs, and plays that middle to outside linebacker position there. Does a nice job not only against the run, but also in pass coverage.
2nd and 15, Montpelier back at their own 20-yard line. 42-0 Edgerton, 2:50 to play in quarter number 3. Another 2-by-2 look.
You see the Edgerton assistant coaches kind of getting the backups ready to go there and organizing. And like you said, Andy, I think the next series you'll see a lot of backups for Edgerton.
Slant route that is caught by Wesley Hartsock, who spins his way forward to the 34-yard line. Got 14 of the 15 back. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, Wesley Hartsock is a good addition. Has not played the first 2 games. And nice 6'2" long body. Second plays a defensive back and wide receiver for the Locomotives. Good ball that time by Sharps.
They bring him back to the 33-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 2. By the way, it was Eldon on the stop that time. Receiver coming left is Hartsock. 1 receiver to the right. Split backfield. Under center goes Sharps. He'll bring a man in motion. The give is on the left side, and backing his way for a first down will be, I think, Cooley. They already have signaled first down.
Yeah, that was Cooley.
Yep.
Tough run there by Cooley. And he's a kid that gives 110%. Can you give 110%?
You sure can.
I think you can only give 100. There's nothing more after 100.
I think you can, if you're not only maximizing, but you're going beyond the maximum.
Then you had more, so that 110 doesn't make any sense.
I want every kid.
Listen, Cooley's a great player. He gives 100% every down, both offensively and defensively.
1:20 to go. This conceivably could be the last snap, by the way, of the 3rd quarter. Handoff off the right side to Staylor, who will get to the 42-yard line, has 5 on the run.
I just never understood that 110%. You're going to have to explain that to me.
Well, I think you go maximum effort, and then you go above and beyond.
So then you had more to give, so it's not 100.
Yeah, I think everybody, we all have more to give.
You can only give 100. You can only give everything you got. After that.
But we all have that extra gear. We have that extra reserve that I don't think human beings tap into enough.
Okay, but that would be not 100% then.
This is going to go round and round and round.
Things you talk about in the 42-0 game.
That's exactly right. And we're not turning it into an argument, because I think we both know that we both can be right in what we're saying. As Cooley gets a yard on the play, and that probably will be the final snap officially of a quick-moving 3rd quarter, a possession each. Montpelier showing no hurry to get to the line of scrimmage. 3 in the books at Stauffer Field in Edgerton. The Bulldogs 42, Montpelier nothing. You're listening to Week 3 of high school football on WBNO Sports.
Be part of the Montpelier Athletic Boosters and help support all the athletes at the Montpelier schools by calling 419-485-6785. The Montpelier Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the Montpelier athletes good luck in today's game. Strive to be the best, and you will succeed at everything you do. The Montpelier Boosters are proud of all your achievements. Good luck and do your best. That's all anyone can ask. And go Locos!
Your home is the one place where everything should be perfect, including your air. Stark's Plumbing Plumbing and Heating Services helps you achieve the perfect air you deserve with reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products. Call Starks Plumbing and Heating Services and see how soon you can get a Lennox home comfort system that'll help improve your health and your mood. It doesn't get any more perfect than that. Call us today at 1-800-329-4040 or visit us at starksphs.com.
Ready to go to quarter number 4. The Edgerton Bulldogs are ready to go to 2-1 overall on the season as they head into GMC play. Again, we'll be here. Young Antwerp team coming to town next week, and we'll be here for that Antwerp-Edgerton game. Then a couple of weeks, I know down the road, we've got that Edgerton-Fairview game that I just switched a couple of days ago and replaced because I thought, well, the way Edgerton's playing, the way Fairview's playing, that could be one of those big games in the conference, so we'll head to Fairview for that game. I know it's in October. Is a matchup that we'll be seeing there and potential other ones as we go down the road as well. Split backfield. The give is in the middle to Cooley. He's got a lot of running room. He's into Edgerton territory, twisted down at the 46 on a 3rd and 5. He will collect the first down on the play and get 12 on the run.
Montpelier going under center now in a veer look where you have 2 split backs and some quick hitters, and that time Cooley hit the hole hard. Looks like most of the backups for Edgerton, well, not all of them, but
a mix
of backups and first teamers.
A couple of updates we'll pass along here after this play. Again, that split back look, receiver left, receiver right, with Sharps under center. Sharps, another inside handoff to Cooley, dragged down from behind as he gets 2 on the run, Cooley does, the tackle to Noah Weaver. It is now Fairview 27, Bryan 6, with 8:40 to play in that game.
Thought that'd been a little bit more competitive.
Grove now up 28-7, Columbus Grove 28-7 on Patrick Henry.
Yeah.
Here it's 42-0, Edgerton with the lead. We're into the 4th quarter. This is Montpelier's only second half possession. Edgerton has had just 1, and we have 10.5 left in the game. Same formation for the Locos. A man goes in motion. They'll toss it to Jackson Staylor. Spins away from Weaver, but ran into an Edgerton wall there. Among those in on the stop, Orlando Puente. Just waiting to see who else got up off that pile. Jackson Flower. By the way, as you said that, Foz, for a certain generation of listeners, they have no idea what the Veer offense was or had even heard that terminology.
Okay.
Our generation and above, that was everything that was run 60s, 70s,
yeah,
and even some into the 80s, of course.
Essentially, all it is, for you guys who want to know out there, it's split backs, and it's an option look off of that, quick hitters. And you option the ball off it. Just 2 backs in the backfield, quarterback under center.
And the quarterback under center is Sharps, who will drop back and try to throw. Guns it far side, a little bit too tall. Eldon had coverage over there, and I didn't see who the Montpelier receiver was, and now a lot of bodies are over there. I think it was going to be Hartsock. It was. And it'll be 4th down at the Edgerton 43. A 4th and 7 coming up. 9 minutes left in this one. You're listening to Week 3 of high school football here on WBNO-FM in Bryan. Montpelier will go for it. Again, Sharps under center. Has a receiver both ways. In the backfield split, Cooley and Staylor are the running backs. Staylor goes in motion. A little mini roll to the right side. Sharps dumps it off. Cooley with the catch. He's at the 30. He'll be brought down from behind by Corey Herman at the 27-yard line. So a 16-yard gain on 4th down and 7, and the drive stays alive.
Nice little play action pass that time. Sharps hitting Cooley as he leaks out into the flat area.
28-yard line of Edgerton is where they spot it.
Michigan, Texas tomorrow, Angie.
Texas.
Score?
Couple scores.
Wow. Okay.
That could be 10, though. I just think Texas is better this year. I think they have a better roster. They're equipped to go on the road and win. That's a run for Cooley for about 5. It'll be 2nd down.
What are the big headlining games tomorrow?
It's kind of a weak Saturday.
Yeah, it is. Other than Michigan, Texas.
The primetime game tomorrow night is NC State and Tennessee. I mean, I think that tells you everything.
I like Tennessee on the road there, too, by double digits.
Josh Heupel has it going on right now in recruiting, too. He is bringing some dudes in.
Okay. I'll give it away because I'm going to ask it right after that. But did you know who has the largest recruiting budget in the country?
Tennessee.
Tennessee does.
7:45 left. Second down, toss to Staylor. Tries to get the edge, but turns inside, runs right into the arms of Parker Eldon, who did a nice job playing that boundary corner position and played the run nicely.
Did a nice job. Also a very good kicker for the Dogs. And don't confuse recruiting with NIL money. Tennessee, which there's not as many great high school athletes in Tennessee. You got to fly all over the place to get them. So big recruiting budget. At least it was 2 years ago when I last looked at it.
Third down and a long one from the 20-yard line of Edgerton. Bulldogs up 42-0. This snap coming in just under 7 to play in the game. Handoff, and it's a first down, and into the secondary goes Jackson Staylor with a run to the 12. He'll get 8 on third down and 2. This is another double-digit play drive. They've run 13 plays on this drive.
Nice blocking up front by Gary Robinson, the kid who's been a 4-year player for the Locomotives and does a nice job steady on both sides. How about Jackson Staylor, though? He's been hurt from the beginning of the game, and it's been easy for him to just go on the sidelines and sit down and
bag it.
When your team's getting beat 42. No one would have questioned it, but that shows the kind of character that he has. He's out there fighting for his teammates. No quitting the Locomotives.
He'll go in motion now. A rollout for Sharps. Sharps throws one toward the end zone. It's incomplete. Intended for Carter Meek. Coverage was Braden Leppelmeyer downfield, who's had a couple more picks added to his total, now with 6 on the season. I want to go back to one thing when you brought up NIL, which I'm a proponent of NIL, but I just think it needs to be done in a national way and a much better way than it is. But you look at what happened. Georgia's better than Clemson, and Georgia's going to win. But all the heat that Clemson and Dabo are taking is of Dabo's own making, because he won't adapt to the NIL and to the transfer portal. And right now and going forward, if you don't adapt, you will perish. Handoff on the inside. I'll let you with a rebuttal. It's Cooley looking for the end zone. Second effort, I think, is going to get him there. Griffin Cooley on a 13-yard TD run, and Montpelier will not be shut out tonight as they score to make it 42-6. Great effort by Cooley.
Yeah, really well. He's a really good football player, and nice stiff arm there, going through the hole and just kind of willed himself into the end zone.
Rebuttal on Dabo.
I agree. I think we've seen, not necessarily in NIL, obviously, because this is new, but in different phases of sport, how sometimes people don't adjust and what happens, whatever that may be. Maybe it's in offensive schematics. Maybe it's your recruiting philosophy. Maybe now it's NIL. You've got to adjust to the times.
Extra point is no good.
And yeah, I think you're exactly right. What has NIL done for most of these big major programs like a Clemson, like an Alabama, like a Notre Dame, and has provided, if nothing else, depth. Because you always have those holes to plug. And with that, we talked about out here, the difference between a 14-year-old body and an 18-year-old body is huge. Well, you know what? In college football, the difference between an 18-year-old and a 22-year-old body is huge, too. Wouldn't you like to bring an NIL kid in to be your backup center who's 22 years of age versus an 18-year-old that you just recruited last year? It's a big deal. So that's been the criticism of Dabo Swinney, and you know, Clemson has obviously taken a...
And I think we're taking the right steps in the porthole, in the fact that they're now closing one of the windows, and there's only going to be one open. And I like that a lot more, that there's only going to be one portal. But the thing with the porthole is, I mean, you can still be an amazing recruiter. And I'm not saying this just from a fan perspective, but one reason why Marcus Freeman has Notre Dame positioned the way they are, because he's found a terrific mix at that school of going and getting those high 4-star kids to come in and play, but then filling the gaps with the porthole.
Sure. The depth, the gaps, absolutely, whatever. You're right. Your program still needs to be built on recruiting. No one's arguing that. But you're right. Notre Dame's quarterback this year, NIL situation. So,
Riley Leonard,
yeah, you're going to have those. But, yeah, well said with Dabo Swinney. And also, Dabo hadn't had a quarterback since Trevor Lawrence.
No, he
had
hasn't.
2 generational quarterbacks with Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence. And then, you know, those guys are going to make anybody look really, really good.
Yeah.
They're both NFL quarterbacks.
That's fair.
You got to get that. And quarterback play is huge.
So Montpelier avoids the shutout in this one. It's now 34-6, Fairview leading Bryan. And an onside attempt that Edgerton's all over near midfield. As we're counting down towards 4 minutes left, and a lot of new faces coming out there for the Bulldogs on this offensive series. So Edgerton goes 2-1 in the non-conference portion of their schedule, overwhelming Montpelier and Hilltop and losing a tough one up at Eden in week number 1, but they have found their mojo, found some rhythm heading into that Antwerp game. They're going to be favored in at least 2 of the next 3 that we mentioned, Antwerp at home and Ayersville at home, and then maybe even a slight favorite at Wayne Trace. I'm not going to say that outright, but certainly a terrific chance to go to Wayne Trace and win that game.
Yeah, that's a big one. They're going to win against Antwerp, and they're going to win against, who was the other one you said? Ayersville. They're going to win those 2.
Mason Eldon, by the way, the quarterback, gives on the inside, and this is a run for Brett Payton. And Payton has a lot of room down that right sideline before he stepped out of bounds all the way down near the, 25-yard line? Let's see where they officially mark him. 27-yard line. So we get 25 on the run.
Nice little move there. Always exciting for those kids. Man, they work their tails off. And they deserve to play football. And sometimes you get caught in this, and the coaches feel terrible about this, by the way. Sometimes you get in a situation where you don't have enough numbers for JV, and you got those kids, usually younger kids, that are working their butt off in the heat and everything, and they don't get paid at the end of the week. By that, I mean playing time. And you feel terrible for them. So it's so nice to have these kind of opportunities that they can get out there and experience it.
Eldon going to have Payton in the backfield with him, 3 wide receivers to the left and 1 to the right, and we have a penalty marker down. It's going to be a delay of game, which tends to happen when you get 2s in the lineup and beyond. Let's see, do we have any other updates to pass along? 28-7 Columbus Grove, as we said, over Patrick Henry. I'm sorry, 27-7. Now 27-13 as Patrick Henry has scored. So 27-13, Columbus Grove leading Patrick Henry. Here's a handoff off the left side to Payton. Payton finding daylight again. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Payton from 32 yards out, running like another Payton that we grew up with. This time Brett turns the corner and gets in zone.
Yeah, looked really good there, turning the corner. Doesn't get much playing time behind Joe Walkup, and making the most of his moments tonight. Hey, Archibald just went up on Tenora 15-14.
Shades of that Genoa game in week 1 when they were down a couple of scores in the second half. Can they hang on now? And Eastwood has bludgeoned Wauseon 48-7 as Parker Eldon comes on for the try here with 1:25 and counting to play. Again, thanks to everybody here at Edgerton for hosting us on United Way of Williams County night and hosting us for B-Rock coming over. Ben Wilhelm, the superintendent, and Keith Merrillet, the athletic director, and all the other principals involved in tonight. High school principal Brett Grieser. I want to thank our staff and volunteers, board members, Amy Kirby, our awesome office manager at United Way, and Dee and Chantel and Dottie, who are board members that were here tonight. Salute everybody that helped donate and get our campaign kicked off in the right way. And our thanks to everybody here. I'm trying to do 2 jobs at once. Can you hear that? Bluffton, by the way, hammered Ayersville. That's a final 53-7. But thanks to all of our advertisers and sponsors of tonight's high school football broadcast. It's been, I know, a game that wasn't the best game in terms of the result. Edgerton going to be 2-1. Montpelier going to fall to 0-3 on the season. Look forward to being back here for Antwerp. And again, kudos to Edgerton with the help of the Edgerton Area Foundation in building this terrific press box here out at their football facility. And it completes, and the field is in great shape tonight. So the maintenance crew has done a great job.
Always loved coming to Edgerton. I love the way it's down in a kind of like a little valley look, and now with the press box here, it's got the total package here.
Do you remember off the top of your head what not your record necessarily, but playing Edgerton, was it pretty even when you coached at Hilltop? Did you have a slight edge in wins, or do you have any recollection?
I think they had a slight edge.
Okay. So in your years at Hilltop, how many coaches did you go against? Who were the head coaches in your years?
Well, let's see, 1, 2,
Drew's back.
three or four. Three, I think.
Okay.
Maybe 4, but Drew's back, Minor, Wilhelm.
Maybe it was just the 3 then.
It may have been just 3, yeah.
Saw Todd Drew's back over the summer. I went and heard Brady Quinn speak at an event.
It seems like there was
Gibson
one more in there, though, for a brief period, but I couldn't.
Anyways, Todd, it was good to catch up with him. He got Edgerton to the postseason back a little more than 20 years ago and is at Rossford now. And so that's going to do it. Montpelier's not even going to snap the football here. And Edgerton is going to win this football game going away. The final in a running clock game as they win it 49-6. We're going to have Foz go through the final numbers here in just a moment, or some pertinent numbers to wrap everything up. But Baker to Herman, Baker to Sanchez, Baker to Gibson, Baker to Krantz for TD passes on the night. So 4 more for Maddox Baker. Joel Walkup, a couple of TD runs of 5 and 8 yards. And then Brett Payton, a 32-yard TD run for a touchdown. Montpelier's only points of the night came on a Griffin Cooley, 13-yard rumble for a touchdown. The PAT was no good. Edgerton now 2-1. They'll host Antwerp next week. Montpelier will be 0-3, and they will be on the road at Van Loo coming up next Friday night. So again, 49-6, an incredibly efficient Maddox Baker performance once again in this one. And as at quarterback, with again spreading the wealth to 4 different wide receivers. Walkup was good in the backfield and on defense, and in the entire defense was good. A couple more picks for Braden Leppelmeyer as well. And Foz, some standout numbers to pass along to our listeners before we get out of here to our Midwest Community Federal Credit Union scoreboard.
Well, first off, the Montpelier Locomotives are going to fall to 0-3. 19 rushes for 65 yards on the ground. They were 12 for 29. Hayden Sharps was for 72 yards in the air, with a total of 172 total yards of offense. Locomotives did collect 11 first downs. For the Edgerton Bulldogs, rushing the football, they rushed the ball 24 times for 222 yards. How about Maddox Baker, 16 for 19? Boy, that's the height of efficiency. 4 touchdown passes, 4 different receivers, and for 168 yards. They also collectively for Edgerton, 395 yards of total offense. How about just a couple individuals here, and we'll let our fans get out of here. For the Montpelier Locomotives, as we said, Hayden Sharp was 12 for 29 for 127 yards in the air. Griff Cooley carried the ball for the Locomotives 6 times for 45 yards. And Jackson Staylor carried the ball 4 times for 16 yards. Catching the ball, Griff Cooley caught the ball 6 catches for 32 yards, leading the way, and Jackson Staylor also caught the ball 4 times for 15 yards. For the Edgerton Bulldogs, leading the way, you guessed it, Joe Walkup once again had another outstanding night. Carried the ball 18 times for 150 yards and a touchdown.
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns,
yep.
Excuse me.
All that adds up to an Edgerton win tonight handily, 49-6 over Montpelier. For Mike Bumb, Andy Brigle saying so long from Stauffer Field in Edgerton. We'll talk to you from Edgerton again next week when they host Antwerp on opening night in the GMC. Ben Murray along now with the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union scoreboard show until about 9:35 or so. Then it's Guardians Dodgers from LA tonight on B-Rock Sports. So long, everybody.